'cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Hello. All right, let me see here. Let's find what Matt sent. Where the fuck you go? All right. Wonder why that pops up. Come there.
5, an update on the recent officer-involved shooting in Amarillo. The Randall County Sheriff's Office says 2 deputies tried to stop a van for running the stop sign near Washington and 46th, but the driver kept going before eventually being stopped. The driver ignored commands to stay in his van and got out. He then pointed an illuminated flashlight toward deputies, causing them to perceive a threat. The deputies shot the suspect and then began rendering first aid. The suspect was taken to the hospital with 9 life-threatening injuries. The 2 deputies have been placed on administrative leave. The Texas Rangers are investigating that incident.
Police.
Look at it, Los Angeles. Every city.
Oh shit! Fucked it up.
Back to Biden, I'm interested. So you think he's failing? He obviously is failing. I think it's clear to everybody. But that would make Kamala Harris the candidate?
Oh,
Well, not really. I mean, I guess they'd have maybe a free-for-all. The tougher the leader. You know, it's like sort of, I guess.
Not allowed on this property. The gate was closed.
Sir, you got your ID on you?
I don't have to give you ID.
Sir.
Constitution that says I don't have to give you an ID unless I have broken a law.
Sir, hands behind your back. Turn around, put your hands behind your back for destruction and not cooperating with law enforcement.
Right, stop.
No, sir. I didn't no. He's not gonna curse me out. I haven't been disrespectful. Okay, so originally called is shots fired in area. Anytime shots fired in area, we got to come. If it's hunting, we get hunting.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just saying this. They don't. Man, I was mute for a while. It's dirty what's going on, and they're. I don't think the Republicans are prepared to get as dirty. You know, I don't vote anymore just because it's. You're not going to vote. We're not going to vote our way out of this. It's going to come down to a conflict. Who wants to vote for their next master, no matter what side they're on? You know.
Hunting time, we get a lot of calls, so we have to investigate because we don't know what's
Very
going
interesting.
on. I don't know that there's land back there. I don't know that that belongs to you. I don't know that you shooting back there or whatever. I don't know that stuff, so I have to investigate. When a citizen call, we have to investigate.
Okay.
So that's what I'm investigating. So again, you got your ID on you.
No, it's not illegal.
So I gotta make cuts.
I didn't break any laws.
Yeah, so we gotta call a red truck that shots fired in the area.
Okay.
So again, I'm investigating. There's an ongoing investigation. So do
What
you
crime?
have shots fired in the area?
That's a crime?
Yes,
In
sir.
the county?
Ran the roadway and the houses in the area.
Oh,
Yes,
no,
sir.
no, it was never any.
Okay, I don't know that yet. I
that's
haven't
not
went
true.
back. The only thing I got is a red truck. So again, I have to
I'm
make.
just gonna exercise my Fifth Amendment right at this point.
Okay, that's fine. I need your ID though, sir.
I'm not gonna ID myself. I haven't broken the
Step
law.
out the vehicle for me, sir.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? A lot of you probably remember me covering this video a month or so ago of Rob Huff being harassed for no reason and being pulled over by Officer Hudson of the Sussex County, Virginia Sheriff's Department. His excuse for pulling Rob over was he heard shots fired in the area, which is complete garbage. That's no crime. That's no reason to pull anybody over. Well, Rob stood on his rights and was free to go. And apparently after Rob left, Officer Hudson went onto his property with no warrant, then harassed his father and his nephew, put his father in the back of a police car in handcuffs, hotboxed him, and pretty much tortured this man. And then when Rob showed up on the property, he arrested him for no reason also. This is one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. Rob's got the body camera footage. I'm going to share it with you guys. Let's get to the video. You guys redress your grievances. The contact information will be in the description. I'll see you guys later.
No, I don't have to have a crime to stop you. I don't have to have a crime to ID you.
I don't want you to trespass on my property.
Listen, sir.
Okay.
So the last thing Rob said to Officer Hudson on that illegal traffic stop was, "Don't be trespassing on my property without a warrant." So what does Officer Hudson do? You see it right now. He's driving down this man's driveway, trespassing on this property. Wait till you guys see what this clown is going to do next.
How you doing? My name is Deputy Hudson with the Sussex Sheriff Department. Listen, sir. My name is Deputy Hudson with the Sussex Sheriff Department, sir. We got a complaint from a neighbor right here, and right here.
Don't fucking get over it. We're out here. We're 200 yards from anything near us, and we're firing into the ground.
You gonna let me talk, or you gonna finish?
I'm gonna finish. You are trespassing.
That's an interesting cliff note that Rob added into this video. Only one person complained, and it was an off-duty officer. How ironic is that? That nobody else complained except for the only person in the area that swore an oath to uphold their rights to do what they're doing on their own property. What does that tell me? That tells me that this officer is a traitor. Treason.
You are not allowed on this property. The gate was closed.
Sir, you got your ID on you?
I don't have to give you ID.
Sir.
Constitution says I don't have to give you an ID unless I have broken a law.
Sir.
6-3 Sussex, got a gang tag for you. Go ahead.
You're in here.
Do y'all own this residence right here, sir?
Yes.
Who owns it?
My son and I own it.
Okay, what's your name?
Again.
I don't know if you trespass or not. What's your name, sir?
My name is.
Your son's on it.
Our family own it.
Okay, so did he give you permission to come out here?
You just pulled him over.
I don't know.
No, you pulled him over 5 minutes ago.
Sir, did he give you permission to be out here?
Yes, he has. I have permission. You don't get my property.
So he gave you permission to be out here, sir?
Yes.
Can you call him and he can tell you that he gave you permission?
You just pulled him over.
Did he give you permission to be out
Did
here,
you
sir?
or did you not pull him over?
Did
Not
give
5
permission?
minutes
No,
ago.
he didn't identify himself. I don't know who he is. Did he give you permission to be out here, sir?
I have permission to be
Can
on
you
my
call-
own property.
Can you call and verify that he gave you permission?
He's being an asshole.
No, I'm not, sir. I'm trying to figure out that this is the people that's supposed to be out here. No, sir.
I'm losing my goddamn temper right now.
Well, calm down, sir. You need a medic?
Hey, I've got this cops here trespassing on our property. Wants to know whether or not I have permission to be here. Can you tell them I'm so bad? And I've been telling him the same thing.
So who's the owner of the property?
He is.
What's his name?
off my property.
What's his name, sir?
Get the off my property.
So are you the owner or he the owner?
Our family owns this property. Our family owns this property.
What is
Get
your
the
family name, sir?
I've told you that 3 goddamn
You got
times.
your ID on you?
No, that's it. I ain't dealing with it. Get off the property.
You have your ID on you, sir?
Let me call the police.
Call him.
Anybody that knows their rights, like Mr. Huff does here, would be losing their mind just like he is. I know I would be losing my mind dealing with this idiotic cop that doesn't know anything about his job or the laws. I mean, that would be like me going to a restaurant and ordering a steak and a surf and turf, and then I have to go back in the kitchen and show the cook how to cook it. This officer does not know anything about his job. All he's doing is violating rights and pissing on his oath to the Constitution. It is truly disgusting.
I don't know. You answer him.
So we're trying to figure out who property this belongs because it looks like some abandoned property.
I've got
Do you have your ID on you, sir?
I don't need an ID.
Okay, so sir, maybe I can talk to you. This is where it goes. You got a second? We don't know who owns this property. We got people call here and say shots fired over here. This property is technically abandoned. So before I leave, I have to put something in the computer that I talked to such and such, and this is who belongs to. If this is your property, you're not here. Somebody comes over here and shooting on your property. I don't do anything about it. How are you going to feel?
Hey, leave. Leave.
Sir, I can't leave right now because it's an open investigation.
You're trespassing.
Sir, you might want to calm down before you go to jail, sir. You might want to calm down. Well, if he owns it, he needs to come back and show his ID. Okay, that's
You heard
fine.
that? Get the hell off my property.
Sir, turn around, put your hands behind your back. Turn around, put your hands behind your back for destruction and not cooperating with law enforcement.
Stop a minute.
No, sir. I didn't no, he's not gonna curse me out. I haven't been disrespectful.
All right, wait a minute. Stop.
No, sir.
I have a
No,
weapon.
sir.
I have a weapon in my pocket.
That's fine, sir.
Okay, it's unloaded weapon in my pocket right here.
Right here. Here you go.
This stupid bastard has put me in handcuffs.
You don't need to get that. There you go. 740 Sussex, show one in custody. Come on, sir. I'm gonna read you your rights. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say will or can be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to talk to a lawyer, have him present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, you want to be appointed to represent you before any question. If you wish, you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand the rights I explained to you, sir?
597-463, you need me to head your way.
We 10-4.
You better get your supervisor out here now.
You got your ID on you, sir.
Doesn't matter whether I got ID. You're not getting it until you prove to me that I've done something illegal. What have I done illegal?
First, you refuse to cooperate. You refuse to give me.
No, I refuse because you were trespassing on private property. You were trespassing.
You got anything in your power? You gonna poke me, stick me, or hurt me?
I don't know.
Okay. If I hurt myself, you will be charged.
Nothing unusual.
Okay.
You're ignorant.
Yes, sir.
You're God, you are.
Get back to employment. Hey, Mark. I'm sorry.
Do not open that. No, sir. You have no
Okay,
right
cool.
to
I was
open
just about
that.
to text her too. You guys ready to get started on Monday? Okay. You'll be
All
at
right,
the
open your wallet in front of you.
You want me to text you?
You got $50 in there.
No, I got more than $50 in there.
You got a $50 bill. You got a 20, a 10, a 5, and a 1.
So
Come back and stand right here, sir.
Sit down. I don't want to stand here all day. I have a bad heart. You're
all right. If you have any questions or anything like that, just shoot me a text and I'll reply to you as soon as I can.
Instead of taking care of the property, people down there setting fire and trespassing, they want to trespass.
No. Yeah, it's not that much farther though. It's over at Telegraph. So, all right.
No,
Yep.
but the sign is.
Bye. And that's even.
Y'all are, y'all are totally. Y'all really are. This thing's hurting my wrist. I don't know what it is.
1 out of 5 is pushing it. 1 out of 10 is even pushing it anymore. I got family that work in
Okay, can you check his criminal history?
Can't believe y'all are trespassing.
Any fellas? At this point, we don't know who the land belongs to.
We're just trying to investigate a complaint, sir. That's all we're trying to do, okay?
Well, then why didn't you investigate the complaint last week when they come in here and burn our
We're not
woods
talking
and burn
about
our
last
We're
week,
talking
sir.
about
We're
today,
talking
sir.
about today, sir. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's how we gotta do it sometimes, all right? Take hand and we turn it the other way. That way it won't hurt your wrist as much, okay?
Whatever. I can't see what you're doing.
Okay. Take hand and turn it this way so the top of your hands together. That way it won't hurt your wrist as much, okay?
Once you take the days off, I ain't going nowhere.
That's up to my partner here, sir. All right? He's gonna charge you with obstruction or not, okay?
Now again, who owns the land?
Man, this cop is really irritating. He has known who this land belongs to ever since he pulled Rob Huff Jr. over earlier, and Rob told him, don't trespass on my property. And so as soon as the traffic stop was over there, he goes straight over and trespasses on the property. And Mr. Huff, Rob's father, has already told him several times they own that land. Man, this cop needs to get a light.
My son and our family.
Who physically on the paperwork?
Rob. My
Okay,
son.
long as Rob said, hey, you got permission.
You just heard him. You talked to him.
I don't know if that's Rob. I don't physically know him.
It doesn't matter. That's the simple fact that you are.
All right, this what we're gonna do. Let's go. I'm gonna show you trespassing today, sir. Failure to cooperate with law enforcement, failure to give you information. You have a come on. No, come on, sir.
Get my call. Give him the rest. Give him the rest of my stuff. Give him my billfold.
You got your ID on you, sir?
At this point, Officer Hudson's just going to go ahead and violate everybody's rights. That way, it'll just fatten up the lawsuit that much nicer.
Okay, all right.
Give him everything. Keys, everything. Take my revolver and put it away too, son. Yeah.
Come on, sir.
You're just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been shooting too. 308? No, that's 9mm. Tinker toy shit.
All right, stand right here for a second, sir. Have a seat in here, sir. You turn around? Yes, sir. We're taking you to headquarters.
Roger, the 7463. When are you going to give me a call as soon as you get a second?
You can give him a call.
You're able to.
I can't do shit. I can't sit back. I can't do nothing.
Oh, you give him a call. Set this for right now. This is my question, Mr. Huffman. Are you ready to talk yet?
About what?
The property.
How many times does he have to explain it to you? I've heard him explain it to you so many times whose property it was. I've lost count. This is definitely antagonizing and causing a lot of stress on Mr. Huff. And in my opinion, this is a form of torture. And keep watching. It only gets worse.
This is the thing.
Like I said, my son's wife was raised in that trailer
And
out there all of her life. And so I tried to explain it to him.
But did you give me your ID? We had to basically go through this whole process. So check this out. Somebody comes out here and shoot on your property, right? I come out here, I say, hey, why are you shooting out here? This is my property. I let them go. You call the police and say, hey, somebody was shooting out there. Guess what? I don't have their ID. I don't have the information. So now I'm not able to identify that it was on your property.
Whatever happened to you not trespassing on the property?
We got a call and we have to follow through. So that gives us our suit to arrive on the property.
So you can cross gates and you can go.
Yes, sir. An investigation. Yes, sir.
I did not know that.
Yes, sir. You the owner of this property?
I'm not answering any questions.
Okay, sir. Well, I don't know if you're the owner of the property. Please step back away from me, sir. So, are you the owner of this property? Are you the owner of this property?
You're the only one trespassing.
Are you the owner of this property?
You're the only one
Are you the owner of this property, sir? Okay, that's fine.
Oh, so you're going to arrest my father because y'all are trespassing on my
Sir, are you the owner of this property, sir?
I'm not answering any questions.
Do you have your ID on you, sir?
I'm not answering any
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you to leave, sir, if you're not the owner of this property.
Y'all, if I pause the video every time Officer Hudson violates somebody's rights and makes a fool out of himself, we'll never get through this video. So I'm not going to pause it anymore. Every time you see something that Officer Hudson does wrong, please leave your comments below. Let's get back to the video.
Okay, I'm the owner of the property.
Yeah.
Okay, then do you have your ID so I can identify that you're the owner of the property?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you to leave, sir.
No, I'm asking you to leave. How are you going to kick me off my property?
Because you're not identifying yourself that you're the owner of this property. That's fine, sir. So I'm gonna ask you to get in your truck and leave, sir.
No, I'm asking you to leave.
No, are you the owner of this property?
I have no signs right there.
Are you the owner of this property?
I told y'all not to come on my property.
Are you the owner of this property, sir?
I want to see your supervisor.
Are you the owner of this property? Are you the owner of the property? So at this time, sir, if you're not willing to identify yourself, I'm gonna ask you to leave, sir. Okay, turn around, put your hands behind your back, sir. Thank you.
I want to see your supervisor. Jared, will you hold this camera? Hold it up.
Right now, it's for evidence. Right now, it's his property, so I'm gonna hold on to it.
Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant?
I'm holding on to your property right now, sir.
Video record everything.
Can you?
I'm
gonna take your
breaking the law.
Listen, sir, I'm gonna take your watch off because I can't put your handcuffs on. Okay?
Violating my rights.
This shit infuriates me.
I told y'all not to come on my property. I told y'all not to come on my property. I told y'all not to come on my property. I told you not to come on my property. How are you, so what are you arresting me for?
Right now, you're being detained, sir.
For
To identify you, sir. No, I'm
For
not.
trespassing?
No, sir.
So
Why we got him?
Are you?
Do you have any weapons on you?
Yes, I do.
What
I
you
have a 9mm Glock on my right side.
Okay. I'm gonna take it off your right side. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Why
is
don't
it one
you
in the
not
head?
muzzle flash?
Is it one in the head?
Jared, come here and videotape these guys.
Stand right here, sir. And stop. Stand right here, sir.
Stand right there and relax, okay?
Don't fucking muzzle flash.
Stand right here, sir.
You don't know how to use
Stand right here, sir, and calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Turn around. You're moving back, sir. You're not being compliant.
Okay. Muzzle flash me.
Hello.
Y'all don't know how to use firearms? You fucking pointed that gun at me.
Sir, stop cursing before you receive a charge.
I have the freedom of speech.
No, you don't.
I don't have the freedom of speech on my property.
Okay.
Video record this, Alec.
Yeah.
Jared.
You got anything on you that's supposed to stick me or hurt me, sir?
Yeah, I got these nuts in your mouth.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
I hope your mom's proud of you, you fucking tyrant.
Oh, but don't try and.
Oh, I want to see your supervisor. Can I see your supervisor? 7'4", Hudson 7'4". What's your 6'3"?
Virginia, Tango 6'1", 3158.
You pointed a gun at me.
3158.
You pointed a gun at me. You dumb. You pointed your gun at me.
What's the name?
These nuts in your mouth, fat boy.
Mr.
Y'all's. I'm gonna get y'all's cameras too. Is that thing on?
All right, so you step back there for me while we do this investigation. You can step by your vehicle for me.
Video record it from a safe distance, Jared. What? What?
So if you can step back by your vehicle till we get a chance to talk to you.
Don't you understand? What's the crime? What's the crime?
So we got a call that somebody was shooting on the property.
Yeah, you
over
told
here.
me that, Hudson.
So at the same time, we come up here and investigate.
Yeah, and I told you not to come on the property.
At the same time, I don't know if you're the owner of the property. You left and went down that way, correct? Yeah. So we came down here. We made contact with your father.
You came on my property.
Is your father? Is it your property?
Yes.
You got anything to prove it is your property?
My wife sent me the deed on my phone that you confiscated without a warrant.
No, I don't confiscate your phone. Hold it.
It's in your
It's up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, your
The one that you pointed at me. Because you're a dumb. Being on my property and y'all are trespassing. Trespassing, Hudson. Oh, you think it's funny? You see, you guys are lowlifes, man. And you're proud of yourself. Didn't you swear an oath to the Constitution?
All right, so you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say will can be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to talk to a lawyer, have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, you want to be appointed to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand the rights I just explained to you, sir?
Yes, sir. Do you know what right that is that you just articulated? Do you know? I bet you don't. What amendment is that right? What amendment is that right? Come on, Hudson. Think, buddy. It's not that hard. I'll give you a hint. It's in the Bill of Rights. Do you know what that is? The Fifth Amendment? Do you know what the Fifth Amendment is? Myself? Don't point the gun at me again.
597 463. I'm probably about 5 or 6 minutes out. You just stand by till I get
Yes,
back.
sir.
Open this damn door so I can breathe.
I roll the window down.
I'm about to die in here. Jesus Christ. That and the guy.
Turn the air up for you. And the air is up.
No, I don't mind. How are y'all? So you guys are saying that we're trespassing?
No, we're not saying you're trespassing. We're trying to identify who. First of all, we need to know who belongs.
You have
who,
identified everybody already. You keep coming up that horse shit.
again, we need to identify.
You get a supervisor out here.
Again, and then we need to identify who's the people on the property.
Yeah.
Who the property belongs to.
Why do you need to know who the property?
Because we need to make sure that people are not trespassing. You can tell me anything right now.
Don't somebody have to call you and say, hey, there's somebody trespassing on my property?
No, they called and said that
don't
somebody's
look at him.
shooting over
Don't
here.
look at him.
They called and said somebody's shooting over here.
Is
At
that
this time,
illegal?
look, you have a right to
Is
remain
that
silent.
illegal?
We're gonna leave it right there.
Is that illegal? Is that illegal?
Subject does have history, but does not have any felony.
10-4.
So, Mr. Huffman, if we could just establish that the property is yours, and if you can do that easily by showing us the deed on your phone, that would greatly help our situation out.
So do you have that?
Yeah, have it on your phone. The one that you took from me, Hudson.
Investigative detention, and we'll do what we have to do, okay? All we're looking for is a little compliance. That's all,
You don't
please,
give
sir.
any compliance.
Do you have the deed and
I'll
you
show
wouldn't
you
show us
the
the
fucking deed, Hudson, you low-life piece of shit.
this time, sir? You're gonna be charged.
You're going to charge me with trespassing on my own property?
No, I'm charging you for your verbal abuse.
Oh,
and your
that's the
profane
First
language
Amendment
use.
to the Constitution.
No.
I'm on my property. Jared, are you recording? Come over here a little bit, buddy.
Sir, stay right on
We'll
over
get
there.
to where you can see them because they're
Come up here. You ain't got it. You ain't got
the first. Are you aware? Are you familiar
Sir,
with
let's
the First
hey,
Amendment?
listen, sir. Let's cut
You
it
don't know
short.
the
There's
First
nothing else to say,
Amendment?
sir.
You
Nothing else to say.
took an oath to uphold the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Turn around right here,
That's
sir.
the
And
first-
just wait till a supervisor
That's
gets
the
here.
First Amendment. It's freedom of speech.
Sir,
I can say anything I want.
You're right. You're
And
right.
so you're arresting me. You
You're
just
right.
said you're arresting me
You're right, sir.
for using foul
You're right.
language.
You're right, sir.
Yeah. So
Robbie, shut up. He's just jumping at straws to have some way to be a big man. Get a supervisor out here where like
Yeah, with the plexiglass divider between it. Thanks for giving this to us, Oklahoma.
I have any questions for you, Ron?
Yes, sir. Okay.
9/8/2023.
I'll just change it. He put the wrong date on it.
Where's the name at? Steven.
I'll put my initials that I did it.
Thank you.
One of them, did you see the front of it? I don't know which one is
All right, we're
that.
gonna finish this up and then be on that way. She showed us the deed. So let me, yeah.
One of them just printed his name. He didn't sign or put his initials on the front page.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and.
But he worked.
Get
He went through
Get
this
this
process
paperwork.
a
No,
while ago
I'm not.
to be a
No,
court
I'm gotta
reporter for a while, so
you're gonna
we
violate
do have an older one.
stroke this stuff.
I just noticed that when I turned it in, I was like, damn, he didn't even fucking sign the front page. Because I'm always just.
I'm
no,
charging him though. Okay, so you can get the second. Yeah.
No.
Why you charging me? Hey,
First Amendment.
Yeah, I got his IDs right here. Let me just stroke this and then be on it with.
Other cops should be charged just as much for not intervening.
All right, so this is what we can do, sir. I can stroke you a summons and let you go, or you continue to talk. I can take you to the jail and take you in front of magistrate.
all right, then why don't you open the door and let me out?
Which
so I can
one-
get some
which-
air. I want some air.
I just rolled down both windows down. First, you said you couldn't sit down.
I'll sign the paper. Just open the door.
Where are you gonna sit down at? You said you couldn't sit down at
I was
first.
gonna sit down on the ground if I have to. I'll get the here. Take this son.
No, when I finish writing my summons, sir. So can you come and stand right here like you said you was, sir? So
I want you to show me that law.
I'm giving you a break by cutting you on the summons.
Okay, help yourself. I just want to know. I want you to write on that sentence what law I have broken. Because I have not broken any law.
Sir, if you can stand right there for me, sir.
You don't own the whole world. You
No,
really
I
don't.
just, sir, you can't be moving up. Sir, I'm gonna put you back in the seat till I get done. If you can't. Let me finish this so we can get it out your way.
If you just take the hands off so I can stand like a human being. Is it all right if I grab a chair?
Yeah, you grab my chair.
Oh, he's so kind. I'm giving you a break.
All right, Mr. Michael, your court date is July the 17th, 2023, 9 o'clock at
I
this.
will not be there.
Okay, at Justice Courthouse, okay? Here's a copy of your ticket and driver's license. No problem, sir.
I will not.
Okay. All right, Mr. Huffman, your court date is July the 17th, 2023, 9 o'clock at the Justice Courthouse for using abusive language to another. Here's your driver's license and your copy of your ticket.
What is he?
That's all you could give me for?
No, sir, I can give you more, sir, if you like.
Hey, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah. The lawyer's gonna have a field day.
All right, sir.
You go ahead and you're welcome.
All your weapons up there, your watch up there, everything's up there.
Somebody's holster is over here.
That's his holster.
I believe it's Mr. Huffman. Here you go, Mr. Huffman. Gonna give you your firearm back. Don't get your holsters back here on the ground. We don't want to run it over. Okay.
I just want y'all to leave my property.
You're leaving right here. Okay. Business is done.
Trespass.
Is that your watch?
Yes, it is.
All right, and your holster from your weapon right there, Mr. All right, have a good day.
Hey,
Be mine.
call you.
All right.
Get off my property. Is your little camera on, Hudson? What's your badge number? 63?
Yep.
What's your badge number? 63?
Yep.
63?
Y'all have a good day.
Get off my property. Get off my property. No. Back up. Hey, you're going over my septic tank. You're going over my septic tank. Stop. Back up. Back your sorry ass up.
Are you cursing at me again, sir?
It's my property.
Are you cursing at me again, sir? Are you cursing at me again? You have a good day, sir.
Get out of here.
You gotta go take a statement from her.
Yeah.
So it looks like Rob left everybody a message in the description of his video where I always look. He says, I only ask that everyone remain civil going forward. Please do not make threats or racist comments when calling. Should you choose to voice your concerns to the department in question, which is the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department in Virginia. Please exercise your freedom of speech and remember threats of violence are not protected by the First Amendment. The officers are only as good as their supervision, and they have been trained horribly. I agree. Sorry for the editing. I've never had to edit a video before. Department phone number 434-246-5000. I will put that phone number in the description. Anyways, I hope you guys didn't blow a head gasket and have an aneurysm while you were trying to watch this video like I did. I was highly upset. Anyways, see you guys later. I'm out of here.
I was about to, that's for sure. That's crazy, man. Man, you found a good one, that's for sure. Wow. That was crazy.
Phobia. Now, this, for example, a fair example being brought out to bring up is this is actually what Dylan went to school for. Probably couldn't hack it, so decided to go figure that it might be an easier path.
Shit.
Do it. But they didn't even get this job. I can't believe they didn't get the job. How very transphobic of Broadway. And they have, in April 2020, the Book of Mormon closed because of the lockdowns. Mulvaney wrote on Instagram, "Thank you to all for sending the love. my way for the Mormons
Uh,
closing. I
I
can't
don't
believe I
know.
got to
Read
have this be my
back up.
first
Hang
big
on.
gig out of school.
He posted it 2
What I
hours
didn't think
ago.
was a lot of people know is when you tour, your coworkers become your family.
2 hours ago.
So Dylan wasn't as a man.
No, it looked like the court date was just in July, so that was last month.
In the Book of Mormon. So
I wonder what
great.
the follow up on that. I mean,
Good.
The dad was saying, "I ain't
think
going to
this is a
court."
better
Fuck you.
path for Dylan than destroying brands. It's probably long. It's probably got a longer shelf life, you know. And it's gonna be interesting to see
Father
as
reminds me of my
Hollywood
dad.
continues. They no longer like have any. This is the first person to ever do it in the history of all time moments. So they brought in Dylan to try and get people interested and didn't even give him the job. You almost feel bad, except I don't. I mean, Dylan is an absolute genius in terms of marketing. Like Dylan couldn't hack it as a man, so Dylan did the absolute bare minimum to appear as a woman, and then
Hi,
was
Richard.
living life on easy mode.
Or
By the
Ryan,
way,
I'm sorry.
before we
Ryan,
get
this
into
is
this
Norm with
pretty
Impact
big
Employment.
bombshell about Google, I want to
Okay,
remind
pretty good,
you.
pretty good. You be ready to
This
go
stream
Monday?
is sponsored by Sheath. Link in the description. In fact,
Right now
it's
it's first shift
If you
is
use
what they're
promo
called.
code the quartering20
Okay.
over at
Monday morning, 5 a.m.
I'll
Monday
put the
morning.
link in this. It's in the pinned comment.
Yep.
or it's in the
If anything
description as
changes,
well
I'll
as
let you
the pinned
know.
chat,
But
and use promo code the quartering20.
you know where the
You can
facility
save
is?
20% off. This company's
Tell
veteran
ya.
owned. I know
Okay,
it's weird to
super,
think about
super.
like
All right. Well, good
trying
luck.
different,
If you have any questions,
underwear,
just shoot me a
especially
text
for the
this
fellas.
number, and I'll answer as soon as I
But
can. Okay.
you've got very little to lose.
All
They're
right. Have a good
extremely
weekend.
comfortable,
Bye.
and they've been a long time supporter. And you know, it's a very low risk thing to try over at sheathunderwear.com, promo code the quartering20. I know
Good
that
undies.
like Sydney
got 'em.
Watson really likes to wear them. You know, a lot of people really enjoy them. For
I've
guys,
got
it's
the
summer.
ones-
It's
the
95
color-
degrees
The
outside.
black ones.
It's
I
got
the
some
ones with that pattern.
dual pouch
Ocean pattern.
technology, we'll say, which
Puts all your
separates
bits in
the
the right
twig
place.
from the berries, and it helps you feel a lot less sweaty. And they have obviously a lot of colors available and things like that, but they're either very
They're cool as
comfortable,
fuck.
very supportive. And
JC.
I know I was a little like, you know, I've been wearing the same Hanes 3-pack boxers my whole life. But when I tried out Sheath, I really enjoyed them. And ladies I know, like Sydney, really enjoy them. Their stuff, their sports bras, their bralettes, stuff like that. So link in the description will save you 20% off. They obviously have many, many sizes, all the way up to 3XL. So everyone can get fit. Link
Or
in the
some trail
description,
mix.
comment section down below. Let's talk about check out Sheath. Let's talk about this new
But they already
report
have that.
about Google.
Water cooled underwear.
Google's getting screwed. Okay, where is it? Okay. How's everyone doing today? It's I feel like those are Biden prices. Well, that's why you get to save 20% off with, you know, promo code quartering20. The quartering20, excuse me. Your coffee cap is an awesome hat. I wear all the time. Hell yeah, Daniel.
He sent me one of his hats.
Interesting new report. New report on the Googles. On the Googles.com. Okay. I think interesting, you know, when I tell you, you know, as you're listening, and you're looking great, by the way. There's just something about you today that, I don't know, you just look great. And I appreciate you tuning in. But when I tell you that Google's corrupt, you're like, no kidding, right? When I tell you there's been yet another report revealing that Google and things like YouTubers and things like that, they're suppressing conservative news outlets. You'd be like, well, no kidding. When we saw the Twitter files came out, one of the biggest bummers of the Twitter files was so many people had been so black-pilled already, that they just, it wasn't quite the splash. That it's just like, oh, we're getting screwed on all levels from our government and from our search engines. Yeah, we knew. Yeah, we knew that. And it kind of went away. Well, there's now a new study that just came out finding that Google favors Democratic campaigns and buries Republican websites. A stunning new study from Media Research Center shows how biased Google search results are when it comes to the world of politics. By typing in just one query, presidential campaign websites, Google returned only Democratic candidates. Now, I'm taking a pause because I'm sure that you are completely shocked by this. I'm sure that you are completely shocked. You had no idea. But this, given its election season, things of that nature, is going to spawn some big lawsuits and some big antitrust stuff. Some of which, by the way, some of the results that Google served up while they are Democrats aren't even running in 2024. Although a notable Democrat who does not appear is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., even though the controversial scion of Camelot is second in the Democratic race. No Republican candidates appeared on the first page of results, even though the search was conducted the day before the first GOP debate, a time when Americans are looking to the internet for more clarity on candidates. The results of and the analysis would almost be funny if they weren't such a threat to democracy. Not surprisingly, Joe Biden's campaign pops up first, but what's after that? Marianne Williamson, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren. Seriously. The research was done using a clean algorithm that is not impacted by prior searches or cookies. So what we are seeing is Google's baseline search results. And it clearly shows that while Americans expect Google to act as a neutral resource, it's anything but. MRC's vice president for free speech. Oh, wait, no, this is the agency who found it. Dan Schneider put it this way, quote, Google has erased every threat to Joe Biden. We know that Google pulled out all the stops to put Hillary in the White House and that they have continued to interfere in our elections ever since. Compared to social media platforms, it's harder to document what Google does in secret, but we at MRC, Free Speech America, have caught them red-handed. Now, there is absolutely no reason not to believe that this very same search algorithm does not apply to YouTube and other outlets.
I don't think anyone's accusing you of being good, Chopper.
This is not the first time. Back in October of 2020, MRC found Google's thumb on the scale in search results leading up to midterm elections. And wouldn't you know it? And then as in now, the stifling of speech went only in one direction.
I had beer at my high school graduation party.
Voices.
Okay.
According to
But
Schneider,
my
Google
parents
has
took
consistently
everybody's,
stood apart from
anyone
all
who wanted to
other search engines,
partake,
and
they
not
took,
in a
she
good
took
way.
their keys.
We have repeatedly seen Google and big tech social media platforms treat Republican candidates harshly compared to their Democrat opponents. There are only two things going on here. Either these biased results are intentional, which Google denies, or the implicit left-wing bias of the software engineers and others in the company is seeping onto the search engine. Well, I mean, I would say that it's probably both.
Yeah, both.
According to Open Secrets, 88% of political donations from Google employees go to Democrats. So should we really be surprised when the product they produce pushes a liberal agenda? By the way, join me tomorrow live on Rumble for the Salty Cracker interview. It's sure to be pretty wild. You know, Salty Cracker on tomorrow from noon to 2 Central. Should be a wild time. It should also come as no surprise that Democrats in Congress have opposed any investigation into or legislation targeting big tech political bias.
Yeah, I would feel bad for
after
it
all,
too.
it's working in their benefit. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
It's
think
just a money
that's
generator. Those classes
really
and everything
not a
cost
surprise.
money.
It's
all
also
about the money.
working not just to harm conservatives,
about
but the entire
safety.
country, whether in regards to the COOF, critical race theory, or the trans issue. Perfectly reasonable positions are being throttled by Google. Over 90% of the world uses Google as its primary search engine. So how can voters be properly informed on the candidates and issues if the ultimate arbiter of online relevance is stacked against one side? Well, they can't be. The time for Congress to act is now, first by continuing to haul the big tech bosses to Capitol Hill to explain why this is happening and why it's not changing, and then pass meaningful legislation cracking down on the ideological bias in the industry. Well, or you could break up these companies. I don't really know what the right answer is. Clearly, finding them money does not do anything. They had just print their own money. Excuse me. Search engine bias is a silent form of censorship, a lie of omission. If you will, that makes it no less pertinent to our politics. I mean, we've been talking about, big tech censorship on this
Apple,
channel
what, your
forever.
electric bill? Shit.
Here's the actual report. Excuse me. MRC Free Speech America researchers searched Google using a clean environment for the term presidential campaign websites to observe which campaign websites Google displayed on its first page of results. When searching the term simply presidential campaign websites, Google returned only Democratic Party candidates, some of which aren't even running in 2024. A notable Democrat, of course, is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is also not allowed on there at present. Why? Because he's the biggest threat to Joe Biden. No Republican Party candidates appear at all on the first page of Google search results, and this a day before the first Republican national debates. Order. Joe Biden, search result 2. Marianne Williamson, number 2.
See you later, people.
Bernie Sanders, number
Thanks
3.
for coming in.
Elizabeth
Hi,
Warren,
this is
Hillary
Lester?
Rodham Clinton.
Hey, it's Norm with Impact.
Why on earth is Hillary Rodham Clinton
I'm good.
still
You ready to get started
appearing
on Monday?
this website? And it's only going to, this is the problem. You see New Coleman Insights. This is
I was like, well, wait a minute. What are you, second thoughts or what?
New Coleman Insights and Amplify Media research study shows that YouTube crushes Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I told you I'd call you Thursday, and then I asked the client, I'm like, hey, how many you need? And they told me, so I'm getting you rolling on Monday, okay?
Obvious majority, the largest amount of available search results.
You already did orientation.
I think that one of the
you'll
biggest
start
concerns,
over there
I'm
at
not sure
on Telegraph.
if any of these presidential candidates would be willing to go down this road or could, talk on the issue.
Second shift, just be there about
But
3:15 just to be
it
safe.
certainly
Okay,
is
your first day.
concerning, at least in my opinion,
Yep.
that we have
3:32.
essentially a virtual monopoly with our cell phones, Android and Apple.
You have any issues, or if
They
you have any
agree on
questions you might
everything
forget to ask me, just shoot
about
me a text to
hate
this number, okay?
speech and censorship and all this
All right,
kind of
you
stuff.
have a safe weekend, and
Right.
if you, like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know a message, all right?
So
All right, good luck to you.
what's the point? Google and Apple, Android and Google act in exactly the same way. They censor the exact same things. They block the same things. They walk in lockstep with big tech. They want to get rid of something like Parler. They go, all this kind of stuff. And it's only going to get worse in terms of when the election actually happens. And Google and YouTube have only become larger in terms of their footprint. That's why, I've worked, that's why I work with Rumble. That's why I'm happy to be a part of Rumble and what they're working on, because, I think, especially when we're talking about election coverage, hard politics, things of that nature, Americans' right to ask questions about whether the poke or lockdowns or things of that nature. Google is no longer trusted. YouTube is no longer trusted. So what's next? Well, probably probably we need more competition. How do we get that? I'm not exactly sure. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to your comments in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
That was for his.
It's very
short
interesting
videos.
to me. You know, you talk about it's why they deliberately attacked and destroyed BlackBerry. Yeah, right? I mean, it really is. And the stuff is, and but by the way, do we have anything yet on the mugshot? Nothing yet. This is my favorite. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see as you know, the political climates get insane. DuckDuckGo can't even be trusted anymore.
Nope.
Remember when
Brave.
DuckDuckGo had
Do I have merch?
a weird they had like, what was it? Their
Not even
CEO
monetized.
said some weird shit about like hate speech and you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm not
I will
sure.
though. I've got someone that's working on some good
Do you
stuff with me.
remember
Actually,
that? What was that?
you guys want to see a preview of something that's really cool? Derek Dumas just sent me a longer version of that
Gabriel
animation. That I did, this
Weinberg.
animation right here. I'm gonna show it to you real quick.
Founder and CEO of DuckDuckGo.
Look at this.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Love it either.
Okay, you've seen that.
Let me see. I think it was hate speech.
I'm gonna have to download it though.
Yeah. Well, there's this, right? There was this shit.
Yeah.
DuckDuckGo uses Furious at its response to the war in Ukraine.
I haven't downloaded it onto this laptop. It's like
they
2
had, like,
gigs.
the
It's
same
a raw
shit.
file, so I'm gonna have to trim it down to use it.
They had like the same kind of problem.
The stream might go a little squirrely as I open Discord because Discord's so heavy on this laptop.
I like using Brave Search. It's just not as good. It's not very good. It's okay. So we've got Salty Cracker tomorrow. Really excited to see that. If you haven't yet, by the way, thank you everyone for supporting the channel so much. We've got we hit 150,000 followers right now, which is great. If you're watching and you don't actually have a Rumble account yet, please do create one and get involved. Like literally get involved in the chat. You know, there's like one weirdo loser in chat, but everyone else is awesome. And then if you haven't yet, please do give the channel a follow. There'll be a little green button down below the video. And then if you want to support me directly, it's not required, but it does go a long way. If you click this join button here, you can support me on locals. It's $5 a month. And we do monthly members only video and things of that nature. And it definitely goes along. If you have creators that you really like and you want to toss them a $5 every month, it does go a long way, like literally. And so the more people that do that, the easier, the less ad reads I have to do, the easier things go. It helps during the slow periods, which is definitely this month is brutally slow.
I don't know if it'll play or not because I'm actually downloading it at the same time, but let's see. calls me after 3. Pretty sweet though, huh? That was cool. Of course, the other thing ended.
That's a third of 9/11.
What happened? I think because I'm downloading it, I just fucked it up. Impact employment. Okay, super. Super. I hope you're feeling better. All right, bye. Mr. Rogers. Why isn't this working?
By the way, 1,000 people died. That's a third of 9/11.
It's going to keep locking up. Here, let's watch them on Kick. Let's open up my Kick chat too.
He is in the back of the limo. What's he doing in Japan? We don't know. And the next day, Air Force Two took Joe and Hunter to China. The infamous trip where Joe Biden shook hands with Hunter's Chinese client in the lobby of a Beijing hotel. A $25 million deal materialized between China and the Biden clan. And it doesn't stop there. There's Hunter again. This time in the back of a limo in South Korea the day after his China trip. And there's no footage of him getting off the plane, but somehow there he is in the vice president's motorcade.
Interesting. Now, why would they be hiding Hunter? You know, they have been hiding Hunter. You know, Hunter Biden stayed in the White House for 2 weeks. Oh yeah, that's a bit. We were off we were out in the field last week filming documentary content. That story broke. Hunter Biden lived at the White House for weeks. Ooh, baby. And then they found bags of cocaine, not one, not two, but 3 places around the White House. Joe Blow, what's in the red backpack, Hunter? Such a question. It's interesting. The policy for the Biden family has always been to lean in to the scandals, right? To much like the mafia family, right? You're not allowed to question. You're not allowed to insult. You're not allowed to come at certain business. Made men, right? Made men in the mafia. This is what Joe Biden has tried as hard as he can with his room temperature IQ to make Hunter Biden. Joe Biden's often bragged that Hunter Biden went with him on business trips. Oh, yeah. This is the PR strategy. Watch.
And it didn't take long before Hunter ventured off on his own, using Air Force Two as a connecting leg to the Philippines. And once again, his business partner, Vice President Joe Biden, advertised to Asia that Hunter was ready to do business.
And as I speak, my son has just boarded, my grown son has just boarded a plane, an aircraft. He's heading to the Philippines. His name is Hunter Biden. He's chairman of the World Food Program, USA. And he's going there out in the field, like so many of you did.
The Biden family used the World Food Program as a humanitarian cover story. After flying all over Asia on our dime, Hunter hopped back on his business partner's jet, Air Force Two, to hit Italy in 2016. There he is shaking hands with the
Impact employment. I'm speaking.
It's funny, Hunter had just been to Italy on a family vacation with his father. There they are. And a year before that, in 2014, Hunter met the owner of Burisma in Italy.
Yeah, I got your message. I came down. I was out of the room for a minute, and I got your message. I was like, "Oh man, their phones go off at 3. There's no point in trying to call back."
This is what a regime looks like in panic. They have too many fires. They can't control. They can't.
Okay. Who are we checking?
Fires. They can't control now. What is happening with Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
Debates, Trump interview, they're losing control. And that is something you must have inside of an oligarchy or a tyrannical fascistic state, which is what they wish to bring to America. But we are going
I'm
to
double
bring
checking now.
and joining us in just a moment is going
was
to
a
be Chadwick
disappointment, I
Moore, the
will say.
official Tucker Carlson biographer.
One day,
And he's going
yep.
to preview what we're going to get tonight with Tucker and Trump. You want to make sure that you were connected when you were watching our program. We're going to have wall-to-wall.
No, the gross was
programming for you tonight.
150.
You
So
wanna make
it's
sure that you
10-hour
have
shift,
reliable cell phone
$15 an
service.
hour.
Use Patriot Mobile. Again, we were on the road all last week. We went to very rural places. We went to the border. We went to Yuma. We were practically standing in Mexico on like an Indian reservation.
Yeah, 2 days. Hey, 2 days. Well, no, didn't say anything about medical. I just didn't call for 2 days. No call, no shows in a row. And then when I finally did actually get in touch with him, he told me that there was some medical thing going on. I'm like, well, why didn't you notify me or let me know anything? And he's like, well, I found something else anyway. I'm like, okay.
Benny, stay connected with us. That's how you fight the commies. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody who's been doing an incredible job.
Yep.
Somebody who's
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Yes, when Tucker Carlson was still
Bye.
on Fox, and somebody who always brings a little bit of a pep in his step, not the Hunter Biden kind, okay, not the Hunter Biden kind, but just like high on life and a happy warrior is my friend joining the show, Chadwick Moore, the official Tucker biographer. Chadwick, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Benny, how's it going? Great to be with you.
Chad, okay, so first off, you are kind of the Chad meme. You have a beard. You have a beard. First name's Chad. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the greatest compliment I could possibly get, I think.
Two, the greatest Chad thing to possibly do would be to be the official Tucker Carlson biographer. You have a brand new book out. I think we should just pop it up on screen. Everyone needs to go get it immediately. And perhaps, given your incredible access that you got into Tucker, you could preview for us what we're going to see tonight with the Tucker Trump interview. What should we expect?
Well, it's funny because, Tucker was never like a throne kisser when it came to Trump. And even some people who were still on Fox very much were that. You either passionately hated President Trump or you would just do anything to kiss his rump and get on his good side. Tucker was always someone who very much, I think, was interested in Trumpism and the sort of populist approach and what Trump stood for without necessarily making it all about the man. So I think that sort of makes him, a good place for this interview tonight. I think and hope that he'll ask difficult questions as Trump would have gotten in a debate, and maybe we'll get in debate in the future. But also, I think Trump probably feels like he's going to get more of a fair shake here than on that other network where,
Yeah, this is Brad for Liberty.
Had he appeared, it would just be 8-9.
Goofy for Jesus was talking about him. She's a mod in his kick and rumble. His rumble gets stuck a lot. I'm not sure. May need to be reset. Yeah. He just goes through, he's got a continuous feed. He's got all the street cams going on the outside and stuff.
Anyone would have taken that
Galveston, New York,
that's the most coveted interview.
Times Square, Miami, Houston. He's in Texas. I think he's in the Austin area.
Tucker Carlson gets
Reno, Nevada,
heads of state,
Venice
rappers.
Beach.
It's almost like Tucker is a hotter commodity after Fox News. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's amazing, and this really dovetails also with the debate tonight, and that Tucker has really become, since his show was taken off the air, figurehead for independent media eclipsing mainstream media. And this is no more clear than it seems that independent media is playing the predominant role already in this election cycle, particularly in the primary. Ron DeSantis even announced his candidacy on Twitter. That really annoyed Fox News. They wanted that. Also, Vivek Ramaswamy and RFK Jr. both announced their candidacy on Tucker's show. Tucker was always I think part of his success for the show. There are many reasons, but one of them was he was this bridge between old media and new media. He brought the internet to television and television to the internet. And since they kicked him off, a lot of people who never would have been on cable or cared about cable or who were only there for Tucker have now left. And we're seeing now that independent media is taking the lead on everything. Mainstream media is playing catch up. And in some cases, and with one network, they can't even report on what Tucker is doing and the news he's breaking, like that Devin Archer interview.
That's fascinating. What a great point, Chadwick. Okay, so this is my question to you: is like, has Fox News even mentioned that Donald Trump? Don't they have an obligation to their audience to note that Donald Trump is speaking with Tucker tonight? I don't think they've even mentioned that.
Well, you would think so. There is a source inside Fox, and I'm telling you this for the first time. Just told me he still works there. That they are totally banned from even all shows are banned from even acknowledging that Trump will appear on this show. Whatever happens on the show, if Trump breaks news, they can't mention it. There's been a policy in place since Tucker's taken off the air that you can't say his name on air. And you know, he's like Voldemort. He's like that. He who shall not be named. And explicitly, everyone at Fox was told they cannot mention this or what happens on it. I mean, that's very. I mean, there are a lot of really good people at Fox. I used to be on the network a lot. I'm not. Not talking about the executives, but you know, there's a lot of people there who consider themselves real journalists. They're very good people. They take their work seriously, and this is most frustrating to them. They can't report on the news, all because of this vendetta that the network has against its former top host.
Could you please peel back the onion layer as to what happened with
Bring
Trump
that
and
up a little
Tucker?
bit.
There is so much fake news out there, like legitimate fake news. People essentially manufacturing narratives to help themselves out and using this. Can you set the record straight, please?
Oh, absolutely. So I was, I think you're probably mostly referring to these text messages, these private text messages that were made public as part of discovery in the Dominion lawsuit, in which Tucker was saying things like, I hate him passionately, and referring to Trump, and saying other things, you know, he drives me crazy. I don't remember what else he was saying. As it would happen, I was physically with Tucker working on this book when those text messages were made public. So I was getting like the real-time reaction, you know, like producers saying, hey, look at this, you know, showing him the news story. And of course, I asked Tucker extensively about his thoughts on Trump, about the text messages, put basically every word of it into the book because I thought it was so interesting. And I mean, Tucker's just so fascinating anyway. But my initial, so that was definitely, and still to this day, is being used as kind of to drive a wedge between Trump and his supporters. You know, saying like, look, and also paint Tucker as some sort of fraud and whatever. Now that I know Tucker so well, you know, over a year and a half, I worked on this book and spent time with him. You know, he's a very, very impulsive and passionate guy. And even before I got to talk to him about this stuff, when I was seeing these things, I just thought, well, that's like no different than something I would text a friend of mine when Trump does something that frustrates me, even though I'm, you know, not ashamed to say I very much support the man. But, you know, I think it was like blowing off steam moment. I mean, if people published every text message we sent, you know, what could you get out of that? So that's not even really trying to diminish it. I think that's just totally honest, especially when you know the sort of person Tucker is. And in the book, I got him talking, you know, extensively about Trump. He is not afraid to say where he thinks Trump fails as both a leader and where he failed as president, and also where he shines and what his biggest strengths are and what he likes most about it. So I think it's good he has a balanced approach to President Trump and doesn't just want to be a sycophant to him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I think that creates a far more interesting interview environment, right? People are most likely going to, I mean, I cannot imagine somebody who would prefer to watch the GOP debate tonight, a Trumpless GOP debate right now, would prefer to watch that programming over a Tucker-Trump interview.
Yeah, and you know, for Trump to further troll Fox News, he's now arranged for his arraignment to be tomorrow in Georgia. So just when Fox was counting on getting the headlines from the debate, well, all the news is going to be focused on Fulton County, and nobody's going to care, especially without Trump there. I do think that probably the real winners in the debate, if in this situation, if there are any, are probably all the other candidates except for Chris Christie, who now can actually maybe, instead of focus on attacking Trump, they can try to deliver their vision for America and sell whatever voters are watching on their story. They won't be so distracted by Trump in the room. But I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing many sound bites tomorrow. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting, but I'm not sure what's going to happen that's really going to get people entertained and amused and provoke thought and discussion.
So there's one soundbite that we play on the show often, which is Tucker Carlson elucidating out of Mike Pence this commentary that he doesn't care about what's happening in America. It's not my concern, right? Has become almost a bumper sticker slogan and has effectively ended Mike Pence's career, right? He can't get over 2% in polls now. And many people, this crystallized what they already thought of Mike Pence. But I suppose you would have an interesting perspective on this. Tucker Carlson would never have been able to have that moment were he still with Fox. I guess undergirding this idea that he's more powerful now and more relevant now. Would you agree?
It certainly seems that way. I mean, he completely destroyed Mike Pence's political career. And thank goodness we all got to see that. I mean, the man said he doesn't care about Americans suffering. Twice he said it.
Yes.
Not my concern. Not my concern. He reiterated it. My jaw was on the floor when I saw that, but way to get a politician off their toes and I think be honest about who they really are. But I mean, funny enough, I asked Mike Pence when we were writing the book. Tucker's known Pence for many years. He was a regular on CrossFit back in Tucker's CNN days. And Tucker's response that we put in the book was something like, he's the creepiest person I've ever met. And then he goes into how there's just absolutely nothing sincere about this man. Maybe that was his sincere moment. But we would never have known that. And not even just to bully Mike Pence, but the fact that that's probably exactly how so many people in our leadership class, both in media and in Washington, feel completely. Of course, that's how they feel, and so including the president himself. And now we have one of them who's very prominent, just outright telling us.
I mean, I suppose there is so much value in seeing who people truly are. When someone tells you who they are, believe them, right? As the old adage goes.
Right. For sure.
Chadwick, final question for you. What does this moment mean? You've taken the time, and as you said, put in 2 years of work on this particular moment. You happen to be one of those people who are just really in the right spot at the right time. And I don't think you were expecting Tucker Carlson to part ways with Fox News in the midst of you previewing your book here. Two-part question. Why did that happen? Like, why did that happen? And then two, what is the media ecosystem going to look like going forward with what Tucker is about to build?
So yeah, I mean, weirdly, I was a guest on his final episode on April 21st, which of course we didn't know was going to be the final episode of the show. And I think that it's specifically going forward, Tucker is, they're raising money to start their own media company, probably a subscriber-based service. Justin Wells is
Multi-tools? No, I just carry a Gerber pocket knife.
Than they ever saw on Fox News when that's finally allowed to happen. But of course,
Clip
Tucker's still
on
an employee of
pocket
Fox
knife.
News. He's still getting a paycheck every week. He's still under contract. That expires December 2024, conveniently right after the next
Skeleton handle on it.
election. Which brings me to your other question: why was he taken off there, and what happened?
I did when I worked
mean,
when I was doing the IT thing full time. I used to carry Leatherman.
And of course, it happened 6 days after the Dominion.
Or Gerber.
Tucker was.
I went through both. I think the Gerbers are better, just because they, the front they open that way rather than the
Dominion wanted
have to fold it to open.
Reasonable people like Tucker Carlson knew that the claims that the voting machines are rigged were BS. So I mean, that's he wasn't one of these people pushing it. Other people at Fox were. They still have jobs. It was purely ideological, 100%. Fox brass does not like Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson is, as one liberal called him, that I quote my book, the high priest of Trumpism, which I think they meant as an insult, but I don't think that's an insult. But he was that voice. He was that perspective in mainstream media, that counter-narrative, populist perspective in mainstream media, which was to say its place in the official approved national discourse. So now that he's off of that and is never going back to mainstream media, I think that's why his removal from Fox felt like a death for so many people, because that perspective.
Yeah, I feel naked without it.
No longer.
If I have to go into a venue or something that I know I can't have it.
So what does it look
I've
like?
had to tuck it behind my belt buckle so many times.
As I mentioned,
because of course the belt buckle is going to set it off.
To independent media, but Fox is obviously not going to go lightly. Any mainstream media wouldn't, and our leaders are still in this place where they truly care what mainstream media and the corporations think. Now someone like Tucker can be more easily ignored by the leadership class, even though that's where the people are tuning in. They're tuning into shows like yours. They're not tuning into CNN and other.
I lose them all the time in multi-tools. When I worked in cable and doing a lot of networking work, I carried one all the time, but I'd lose them all.
Right now in this country.
Oh, there goes another $50.
The headlines of the last few months. There's some sort of big sea change happening that I don't know the exact outlines of, but I think a lot of people feel it.
That sounds like your next book.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. Thanks for the idea. I've been trying to think what I might do.
I mean, I will say this, not to filibuster here, but you just brought up such a fascinating point. The Republican senators still crawl all over themselves and debase themselves to go on Meet the Press.
Oh yeah.
They denigrate and humiliate themselves. Ball gag, in mouth, gimp suit on, crawling on all fours, walking to Ginger Chuck Todd to stroke his goatee. Am I wrong?
It's so true. Well, it's the prestige economy. That's all it is. It's the prestige, and this is why half these people get into politics. You know, they're extremely callow people with very low self-esteem who need to be fed attention all the time. And so, of course, they want to be on Meet the Press, even if 5 people watch, rather than going on some Twitter show that has 200 million people watching, because it's prestige. It's validation from this corporate entity that you're worthy to be on here. And you've got the makeup girl, and you've got the cameras, and you're treated like a princess, and maybe you get to eat snacks in the green room. So that's what it is. I mean, it's personality dependent on these people. It has nothing to do with actually caring, about the voters or what real Americans think. It's completely ego driven.
Yeah, it is wild. You and I should talk offline. I got some interesting stories about Republican senators and
totally.
it is wild to see the way that they treat like shows like ours and audiences like ours that are real and like active and they're people, and they don't get it. I think it'll take a generational shift, quite frankly. And we all see what's happening with the age of members of Congress. It's never been older, and I think that's the problem. The age makes it lag, and so the younger members of Congress, they totally get it, right? And they're never invited on Meet the Press anyway. But like they get it, but it's this class that is sticking around. They keep the system alive. That's what I can't figure out. They
Very
keep
useful
the system
tools
alive by feeding it, right? And they would be wise to let you write a book on them, come on our show, go on a Twitter show, as you say, where the people actually are. Chadwick Moore, where can people find your book? Everywhere, I assume.
Yeah, you can buy it anywhere you get your books.
Benny's
You can go
pretty
to
cool. I like Benny.
tuckerthebook.com if you want links to all those retailers. You can also order direct from the publisher there if you want. So tuckerthebook.com, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart, Amazon, Sam's Club, anywhere you get your books.
And speaking of Twitter, sorry, not the dead name Twitter, X.
Dead-namer.
Follow Chadwick. Here's his profile. There's his 113,000 people. Can't be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You got to follow Chadwick. He produces some straight fire.
I never heard of him.
On his
Chadwick Moore, huh?
Twitter account. So thank you, Chadwick, so much. Godspeed.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Great to be with you.
Right, baby. We're out here. We're going to be here tonight. We're going to be bringing you the flames tonight. We are doing it. And then tomorrow, the Fulton County Jail. Donald Trump has confirmed that tomorrow's the day. Earlier in the week, we were like, whoa, it's going to be Friday. It's going to be maybe Saturday. Who knows? Donald, who knows? Donald Trump has confirmed Thursday is the day that he will be going in. Expect us to have a t-shirt up with Donald Trump's mugshot on it. Not guilty, y'all got to feel me. You're going to turn this man into Tupac, as Chris Rock famously said. You going to arrest Trump? He's going to sell more records. You ready for that? Donald Trump saying as much. Yesterday, he will be turning himself in. What you going to do? You going to raise his poll numbers? Donald Trump also showing you exactly how he's managing all of this. Had a hysterical Truth Social post yesterday. The failed district attorney of Fulton County insisted on a $200,000 bond from me. I assume, therefore, that she thought I was a flight risk. Fly far, far away. I'm going to read this in Donald Trump voice. Okay, hold on. Fly far, far away. This is the second truth right there. Fly far, far away. Maybe Russia, Russia, Russia. Share a gold-domed suite with Vladimir. Never to be seen or heard from again. Would I be able to take my very understated airplane with golden Trump affixed to it for all to see? Probably not. I'd be much better off flying commercial. I'm sure nobody would recognize me. This is Donald Trump's post on Truth Social. Donald Trump taking it in stride. In stride, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There it is.
Hey, Jot.
So we're going to as well.
Thank you.
As Rush Limbaugh used to always say, now's not the time to panic. I'll tell you when to panic. Now's not the time to panic. Who are the ones who knock? We are the ones who knock. As Chadwick just said. And what a compliment to all of us. As Chadwick just said, it's audiences like ours where the power actually is. It's the brigaders. We're the ones. It's the salty army. We're the ones where the power actually resides in, because we are real. We are growing at a shocking pace, actually. It's amazing. You are part of the fastest growing independent media audience streaming on the internet. And I have to say streaming because Tucker Carlson is now the official most followed independent voice on the internet. And I don't think we'll ever catch Tucker. I'm not sure I ever want to, but we're going to do something. He's 20 years older than me, so we're going to build something a little different. We're going to build something for you. And here's Chadwick Moore on our show being like, this is the
Let me
future.
show it one more time.
Part of the future.
This is what Derek's got. I'm going to put some music to it too.
It's going to be biblical.
Sure.
Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. It's worth stating, and you should say it every morning in the mirror, that God is real and that Christ is King. Amen. That's it. That's all you need. Remember Christ's prayer, the Lord's Prayer. It's like short. It's like 20 words long. It's a short prayer. You just need simple truth. God's got you. God's got you. The sparrow falls from the sky. The flowers on the ground, not Solomon in all of his splendor, were robed like these flowers that you crush under your feet. A sparrow cannot fall from the sky without God's notice. Come on. Man, God cares about you. And he cares about this nation. And if he didn't care about this nation, oh, baby, you'd know it. We'd be done. We're not done. God's not done with us yet. So remember that. Remember your Savior. Remember Christ. Have that confidence. Stand upright. Stand upright.
Remember JC.
March forward, Christian soldier. Keep standing. Salt and light, baby. We'll see you here later today.
He's a feelings herder.
See ya.
He likes to hurt the feelings.
All right, guys, we got to talk about a story that has flew under my radar, so I'm a little late getting to it, okay? But I guess better late than never, but never late is better, right? That's what they say. So I'm getting to it, okay? And it is the story about the Goodhue Police Department, okay? Goodhue is a small town out in Minnesota. It is somewhat near Minneapolis, I believe. And their whole police department is resigning in protest because they don't feel like they're getting paid enough, okay? There's some issues going on with the police department there. And they have
He's a bad boy.
Quit. Now, this comes amid the movement across the country from woke progressives to defund the police, to demonize police, to make it harder to be police. And this is something that we're seeing happening all over the country. Okay.
Is he a bootlicker?
Fifth time in the last 2 years that a entire police department said, we're done, right? We're quitting. Okay. And this is amid a nationwide trend of police officers quitting. Okay, they're quitting, they're retiring, they're hanging it up, they're saying, hey, we don't want to be police officers anymore. Okay, now in the background,
they don't deserve to,
again,
in most cases.
Minneapolis, which is I guess a neighboring city, you have officers that were involved in the George Floyd incident, the ones that are not Derek Chauvin, the people that actually really didn't have that much to do with George Floyd's death.
They didn't intervene.
Are getting the book thrown at them, and they're facing time in jail for essentially doing things like crowd control. Okay, they finally got the last guy that was involved in the George Floyd incident, and I want to go ahead and play this clip here from MSNBC of them talking about this, because again, this is part of the reason why you're seeing officers quit in this country, because you can go to jail for doing your job.
36 past the hour, we are following some breaking news. Our NBC News affiliate in Minnesota is reporting that a judge handed out sentencing for the final officer charged in the killing of George Floyd. Joining us now is NBC's Shaquille Brewster. Shaq, good morning. Put some of this into perspective. What are we seeing today?
I'll be right back, guys.
Well, this sentence of 57 months in prison for Chu Chao, one of the officers involved in George Floyd's death, is significantly higher than even what prosecutors were asking for. They were asking for 51 months behind bars. Important to note here that once you factor in factors like good behavior and time served, this will not result in him serving any significant more time behind bars. It'll just be about 2 more months. But this is the end. This is the final officer connected to George Floyd's death, the final criminal case connected to that, and it marks the end of that procedure.
Yeah, so this guy got the book thrown at him. Okay, 4.75 years doing a hard time in prison, breaking big rocks into little rocks because he did crowd control. He was keeping bystanders from interrupting as Derek Chauvin was restraining George Floyd. Okay, basically, again, he was keeping civilians from getting involved in the incident, right? I mean, he was effectively doing what he thought was the right thing at the time. 4.75 years behind bars, okay? That's what's happening to police officers in this country, okay? And that, again, leads me to this story right here out of Goodhue, Minnesota, where the whole police department decided to resign and quit. Take a look.
This is heartbreaking to us.
This morning, Goodhue, Minnesota is scrambling. The entire police force is resigning, leaving the city's roughly 1,500 residents in law enforcement limbo. But Goodhue's mayor is sending an optimistic message about the future of the force.
We are going to rise above this, and I'm confident that we will have a full police department again.
The main reason for the officers leaving? Disputes over their pay. The Goodhue police chief, who resigned late last week, had previously requested higher pay for his officers and better recruitment efforts. The department was comprised of many part-time officers who were loyal to their chief.
We were really there for him more so than, needing a part-time job. And so with him going, there just really wasn't any need for any of us to stick around.
Police departments nationwide are facing a vicious cycle of retirements, resignations, and fewer hires. A survey released in April indicated that while police departments are recruiting more officers compared to 2020, departments saw 47% more resignations and 19% more retirements in 2022 compared to 2019. The staffing crunch is leaving some communities underprotected. Back in Goodhue, residents are on edge.
It's just unnerving to know that they may not be there, even though, yes, they're talking about having Goodhue County come in. I just prefer Goodhue having their own police department.
The city's mayor says the former police chief, Josh Smith, and another full-time officer will stay on the force until the 24th. After that, the Goodhue County Sheriff's Office will be taking over.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Now, I'm going to get to the root of the problem here. I'm going to get down to the core of this issue, the quiet part that nobody wants to say out loud about the recruiting crisis that we're seeing in policing and also in the military, in law enforcement or armed services in general, right? In just protection, security, we're having a recruiting crisis. The reason why, in my opinion, has to do partly, okay, with the demonization of white males in this country, right? I mean, the military is being told they're too white. Police are being told they're too white. And guess what? Now, white males are quitting or choosing not to serve. Specifically, if you are a young Democrat, okay, listen to this wild statistic, right? If you're a young Democratic white man, you are significantly less interested in military service than young black women, who are interested at 9.5%, and young white Republican women who are interested at 10.9%.
So did Aaron accept Telegram?
You're less interested than young black men who are interested at 12.1%.
You were going to call him on Telegram, right?
Young Hispanic men at
I just didn't know if he said yeah or not. Because he came in and handed me his time card
white
today.
Republican
And
men
he was just like, I
who are
can't know
interested at
who
25.3%.
Okay.
So young liberal white men.
I have 4 new people starting Monday on Telegram.
Young white male Democrats in 2015 were
Yeah, I didn't think he's going to come anyway when he came back for his boots.
Desire to serve in the military.
But yeah, I'll double check.
That number dropped to 2.9%. 2.9%. Wow. Okay. And again, this is according to Monitoring the Future survey. Okay, that's the source here. Again, that's in my opinion. Okay, the liberalification of
Norms
men.
impact employment.
Okay,
Is Aaron
is part of the
Leslie
reason why
available?
we're seeing this crisis when it comes to military recruitment and police recruitment. You're seeing a lot of police retire after the George Floyd era because now there's been so much demonization of police. There's been so much pressure to cut the budgets of
Agree,
police,
Chopper.
to make police be the enemy of the people, when a lot of these guys, a vast majority of these guys, overwhelmingly, they're good guys, right? They're good dudes. Don't get me wrong. I've had run-ins with police that I did not think were fair. However, just because I don't think it's fair doesn't mean that it was racist, okay? Doesn't mean it was racist. Doesn't mean I'm going to demonize all police officers. All police officers aren't bad. What I realize that the woke revolutionaries don't realize is that when it comes to
All right.
policy,
Just verifying.
there are no solutions, right? There are no solutions in life,
reporting at the
only
Telegraph
trade-offs, okay?
starting Monday,
Only
right?
trade-offs.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Something
sure.
that may be a net
Clear.
positive.
I understand
towards
about
you have
today
some
with the
negative, right? That's what we
flooding and
call
all
it
that
a
crap
net
that
positive.
went on
But
last
I would
night.
much
So.
rather have the net positive
All right.
than the net
I just
negative,
wanted to make sure.
okay? There's some things that
All
are
right,
going to be
have a good
uncomfortable.
weekend.
They're uncomfortable realities when it comes to policing. However, I am willing to accept these uncomfortable realities in exchange for not having crime be out of control, in exchange for having a functional police department and law and order. Okay, I'm willing to accept that police are probably going to end up beating up an innocent person. They're going to end up violating somebody's rights. That, you know, people unjustly are going to be shot and killed if they're unarmed. However, that happens so little in this country that, to me, it's worth the trade-off of actually having police, okay, having a well-functioning and well-funded police department where we have law and order and, you know, little crime. I'm much more willing to have that than to have the trade-off of demonizing police and defunding police because a couple of police officers are bad apples, and then we have no law and order and crime is out of control. But again, people, they don't grasp this concept, right? That there is no perfect solution to anything. So what happens when you overreact to what is not a real issue in this country? Police brutality is not a real issue. It's not. Not if you're not a criminal. Yeah, some people in very, very, very rare instances, they're going to get screwed over. Police are going to do something screwed up. But that doesn't mean that you need to overhaul the whole system. You don't need to do it. It doesn't mean that the whole system in and of itself is bad. It simply means that
Pretty bad.
As a result of having the system, you're going to have some negative outcomes. It's not going to be perfect. That's what it means, right? And you have to live with that because the alternative is much worse. So here you have this police department resigning because they're not being paid enough. And they probably realize that, hey, the pay versus the chance that I'm taking of essentially losing my job, losing my livelihood, being called a white supremacist for the rest of my life, because it just so happens in the course of doing my job, I had to rough up an individual who happened to be black because that person was not complying or he was fighting back. If it just so happens that I have to do that to protect my life, to go home back to my family, and I get fired for it, I end up on national television for it, I get demonized for the rest of my life for it, I don't think that this job is worth it, right? It's not worth the chance, right? It's not worth the chance. Again, this is what happens when you say that policing is racist, where you push conspiracy theories that all white police officers are out here to rough up black guys and to murder them in the streets, which is the conspiracy that the left push that actually cause real world violence and harm.
Scroll
right?
down.
Social media doesn't seem to be interested in censoring people who push that conspiracy, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I'm just saying, I understand where some of these guys are coming from. Okay, I really do. I get it. It is not a coincidence that this stuff happened after George Floyd. After you saw what happened, after you saw how the country essentially turned their back on police, they all started to quit, right? They all started to quit. And as a result, you're going to have less law and order. Now, you know, some of you libertarian types might say, you know what, this is a good thing. This is great. We can protect ourselves, right? Which, hey, I agree. In a smaller town, I think it might make more sense. It might actually be a good thing, okay? To a certain extent. You don't need as many police because more people are armed, okay? More people have the ability to protect themselves. You may not need as many police, right? But you do need some, okay? I don't think it's a good thing that this small town had all their police officers resign, even if it was only 6 or 7 of them. But in these big liberal cities, they definitely need police. Absolutely, they need police. So what is happening, again, it is negatively affecting these liberal cities more than anywhere in this country in regards to police recruitment. And those are the places that need it the most, because that's where a vast majority of the criminals are, right? So, look, I mean, I don't really blame this police department, considering how policing is not a job that I think many people really want to do in this country anymore, considering the net return on it. So I kind of get it. It's just a story that I really don't want to continue to see in this country, because it's not a good thing when police are resigning in mass, okay? It's just going to be more chaos and destruction because of it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some random dude on the internet. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
Check this out.
Your heart is so tied to this place.
It is, you know, I mean, I've spent almost all of my life in Hawaii, represented this community for 8 years while I served in Congress. And to say that my heart breaks sounds too small to convey not only what I'm experiencing, but really more importantly, what this community is going through. And to know that the best support that they have gotten so far has come from each other. That's what's so maddening to me, is that I know that the resources are available to meet every single need that the community of Maui has, from here in Hula, Country Maui, all the way to West Maui and everywhere in between. There are those who are directly impacted, who've lost their homes. There are communities who've been cut off, either because of no power, like this community, no water, no communications ability to convey, hey, here's the resources that we need. And so they're really relying on each other. I know that this is an overwhelming catastrophe for the county leadership to deal with. It's a new administration that's just come in. But look, the state and FEMA, they are the ones who have the ability to mobilize the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief resources that the U.S. military has based here in Hawaii and that are commonly deployed to support other countries during their time of need. That is what needs to happen yesterday, right here in Maui County. And that's what I'm urging these leaders. I don't know what they're waiting for, but this should have happened earlier on.
Why do you think it's not happening?
You know, I can't even come up with a plausible excuse, because it is inexcusable. These resources have been ready on the military side since this crisis began. They have been ready to launch. They just are federally mandated. They can't move until they get that word from the state or from FEMA. If there are any bureaucratic or funding or whatever other things that are on their minds, they need to put that aside and actually help people right now.
So all these resources are sitting still there. Can't even access, can't get to them. The bureaucracy is there. You know, she's been on that island for quite some time. The military assistance, nothing's getting to the people right now. Nothing. So
this is, I mean, you know, so you're supposed to pay a price for this politically, but we live in such a banana republic. I mean, our media is so corrupt. The people never, we live right now in the United States is what I grew up thinking people in Russia and China lived in.
This is what you hear about the countries we invade, how inept they are.
That's right. That's what's happening here. And it's much better in a place like China, as we were talking about before, because in China, when shit doesn't get done, they know who to blame. There's only one party. And so their government is actually more responsive to them in a lot of ways than ours is, for sure. Right now, they just blame it on someone else. And Joe Biden knows that he's got the media in his pocket and he'll never be made to answer for any of this. They're not making him answer for it. He's done nothing. There's not everybody just like this is climate change and that's that. And so we have to take away some more of your rights.
Well, that's interesting that you say that because that's what the push is. That's where the fight comes from the left. If you try to suggest that it's anything else other than climate change,
Right.
they lose their
Climate
you know what
change
about
forgot to turn the siren on.
That's right. And climate change
Turned off the water.
Turned off the
Is that
water.
that guy's name? That was
Remember, climate change ordered them to keep the cars turning back into the fire.
Heck of a job, Climby.
Glad to go climbing.
Climby. I just want to show you. Here's what Tulsi's showing up to a couple days ago as well, showing some of the support that all these people within the community give each other. Where's FEMA? Where's the government? Where's the military? Like you said, if they can find a way to blame it on Ukraine and pump the money there, they will do so.
There's like a base there, isn't there?
There's several bases there. It's Hawaii.
Yeah, why would
The airport, bringing over a bunch of satellite radios.
Cool. So should we hop in?
Yeah. Side, Maui.
Volunteer, it's crazy.
Volunteer work is kicking the government's ass. You can see
Uniquely American.
Look at them. They get all this stuff together, all the kids' toys, everything they need. These are volunteers. This ain't the government.
Stuff for kids here. There's bikes, there's board games, there's skateboards, basketball, soccer balls, and then I have a bunch of dog food, cat food. A lot of the things that people don't really think about, but are also really important. So the generosity of people volunteering and sending these things from not only from Maui but from all over the place. We're just about finished loading up a whole bunch of different supplies. We have
Hey, dirty dog.
We have toys for kids. We have bedding, things that have been donated and held here at the fire department at the Honolulu airport. And so we're about to take off and bring them out to some of the folks out there in Lahaina who've been most impacted. So a lot of generosity from a lot of people. And a lot of volunteers. So
we're just about to land in Kapalua. It looks empty down there right now on the road. So we're bringing in the supplies, bringing things that people need, like communications are going to be really key at this point. This may be the last flight in here for a while. So hopefully everything that we're bringing can be put to really good use for the people.
Weed.
This dude's cool.
This is Slater and the Flares. We're coming down with a bunch of radios to Kahana boat ramp. Let me know if you're there, if we need to drop them off with Uncle
Hey,
Joe.
Hyro.
Actually, Slater, on your way to Kahana, stop by S-Turn and drop off 2 VHF radios to Alika.
My wife and I just flew out there for a friend's wedding near Boulder. We landed and then our town burned down and we came right back. And I put my wife on Oahu with some friends in Kualoa, just because she's all very, very pregnant, and so just want to keep her safe. And then I just came over a couple days ago to just try to assess. So been here ever since. But yeah, we got power the other night back in Kahana to Pili, Hawaii, Kapalua. So that helps. But it's just the biggest thing for us has been like communication. We just don't have any means. So like, you go around to supply drops, you talk to everyone running them, and they're just telling us what their needs are. But then I can't even contact Kai on the other side where he has service because I have to drive up the hill to get like 1 bar of LTE.
Here it is. Look at the community.
Alika? Yeah. Okay, what's up, brother? We're going to drop a couple radios with you. So, okay.
This is 40 miles. Okay, shoot. Perfect.
As long as we're building the network, right?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys will see all these hubs. It's all community. There's no military presence, no FEMA presence, no state or federal presence at any of these hubs. So I don't know why. But
Has Josh Green, the mayor, managing director, any of those guys come out here just to?
I've been here for 3.5 days. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't talked to any representatives. You're the first person that's in that world that has even come to Maui that I've met personally. So I can't speak for other people, but for Poe and I, we've been all the way from Lanipogo Oluolu to Kapalua, which is the entire stretch of the west side, and haven't seen anybody yet. So it's been all community based so far. I mean, look at this. You guys see any state or federal help here right now? This is all local support.
This is amazing. Yeah. This is really kind of amazing.
Yeah, 2 channels.
I would say we probably.
I'm just doing get a little bit of time on the Doc Nation, just in case I pick up another strike and get a 30-day vacation before October, before the strike goes away. You guys want to see the new video?
We're just dropping this off and we're out.
You guys want to see the new video? I already showed it a couple times, but I got to put sound to it. But pretty sweet.
To get any kind of
Jimmy Dore.
hold anybody accountable for any of this because the media is so corrupt. And if the media decides it's not a story, it's not a story, and that's that. And that's why they have to keep clamps on people like us. I don't think. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Big nothing burger.
yeah. I hope. All they want to do is talk about climate change in relation to this, and they don't want to talk about the complete failure of their government. Now, and it seems on purpose.
Their disaster response was a disaster. It's
it seems on
across
purpose.
the board.
Look,
And
it's not a good time to cover a disaster. Biden is having those problems with his boy Hunty, and Trump. It could be Trump. I've seen MSNBC mostly talking about how it maybe will be Trump.
And the fact that like Tulsi can even walk around, I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
that the governor can't even
That's her
walk around
tattoo.
there without getting his head chopped off. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see, do I
And
have it
she
in here?
showed up. I've given her crap at times, but she shows up when it matters most.
Yeah, it's
and
her
you can see this
tattoo.
here. Look at the supply. The locals. The locals are doing this. They got everything they need really quickly. Just gonna play the rest of it.
Watch out, you guys.
Look at this. Where's our government?
Find it. Oh, yeah.
Hey, come see us on live on tour. We're doing a show in New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Connecticut, Toledo, Rochester, Michigan.
Ooh,
That's
Toledo.
just outside of Detroit. St. Louis, Tampa, Florida, Boca Raton, Florida, and Orlando,
When?
Florida. Go to
When's he in Toledo?
jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.
Oh, I missed it.
I got a minute, and that's it. I got to make an airplane. How we see you today. And if I'm not on, how are you? If I'm not on time, who knows what they'll do to me in the Bidenista state. Well, I'm going to Georgia, and I'm feeling very, very good about it because I feel like I'm defending the rights of all Americans, as I did so many times as a United States attorney. People like to say I'm different. I'm the same Rudy Giuliani that took down the mafia, made New York City the safest city in America, reduced crime more than any mayor in the history of any city, anywhere. And I'm fighting for justice. I have been from the first moment.
Yeah, with stop and frisk.
Man who has now been proven innocent several times. I don't know how many times he has to be proven innocent. And they have to be proven to be liars, actually enemies of our republic, who are destroying rights, sacred rights. They're destroying my right to counsel, my right to be a lawyer. They're destroying his right to counsel. It's not accidental that they've indicted all his lawyers. Never heard of that before. In America, all the lawyers indicted. Now, whether you dislike or you like Donald Trump, let me give you a warning. They're going to come for you. When the political winds shift, as they always do, let us pray that Republicans are more honest, more trustworthy, and more American than these people in charge of this government. Because if our government is conducted this way, and the system of justice is politicized and criminalized for politics,
This is what all governments become, though.
your rights are in jeopardy and your children's.
It's
Donald
just
Trump
super
told you
accelerated right
everyone is
now.
coming for him or me. Now they've indicted people in this
No,
case.
I ain't wearing
I
no
don't know who they
fucking
are. I'm going to
mask.
Fulton County to comply with the law.
I
which
am not
always
wearing a
do.
mask.
I don't know if I plead today, but if I do, I plead not guilty. And I get photographed. Isn't that nice? A mugshot for the man who probably put the worst criminals of the 20th century in jail. You find a prosecutor who has a better record than mine in the last 100 years, that you know, or a mayor, and they're going to degrade themselves by doing a mugshot of me. Like, people will recognize me, and of course they can fingerprint me, but I've been fingerprinted 150 times. This will turn out exactly like the FBI search turned out. They're lying. I'm telling the truth.
That bird.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Just a
Took
ton
me
of
too
things
long to
going on
figure
this
that
morning, as with every morning. But of course, we're in Hawaii to dissect something great, though. Residents of Maui right now can take solace in the fact that no matter what happens, no matter how bad things get, it could never be as bad as Joe Biden's kitchen fire. It's not possible. It's not possible.
That guy, man.
Oh, my gosh.
It's unbelievable.
He's getting some well-deserved criticism for that. So it wasn't just us. I'm so relieved.
Yeah, because
that
that's what
others
they've
have
turned it
noticed,
into.
and including, some on the left.
They want people to
I could not
believe
believe
that correlate
he went
those
into
two.
that story, and then he went into the accident story.
Yep.
I mean, it was just
because
unbelievable.
Always all about him.
Yeah, he's incapable of sympathizing with people's pain without talking about himself.
And once again, at the end of it, he doesn't know where to go.
Yeah. Completely lost.
That's unbelievable.
Completely lost.
But it's a shame that most of the blowback on Joe Biden has been after his visit as opposed to his long delay going to his visit. Although there was a fair amount of that. But when you compare it to the low threshold for a Republican, in other words, George Bush saying, doing a heck of a job, Brownie, or doing a flyover of New Orleans, like that was criminal.
Yep.
Right. And the way that Republicans are treated whenever there's a disaster, Ted Cruz leaving town during the ice storm,
when he should have been getting the electric grid,
he should have been out there just spinning the windmills, making them go.
What do you think your job is? U.S. Senator
Ted.
Come on, Ted.
Get your butt down to the plant.
Power plant.
But
and power that thing.
Dirty
back
dogs
up.
right.
I think the
Both.
fact that
What
a
are you doing?
Democrat president is getting this kind of treatment shows you just how egregiously bad his performance has been for the last 2.5 weeks over Maui.
Yeah.
And I mean, the memes have been brutal too.
Well, he's been on vacation. I mean, you can't expect him to.
He's been on a
have
couple of
everything-
vacations.
Everything busy. He's been on vacation.
Back-to-back
He is-
vacations.
Right. He's been on 2 vacations since Maui.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. As soon as he said no comment, he went.
man.
He got
That
on a
was
bicycle.
vacation.
He went on a bike. Yeah. Like, see ya. I mean, he sucks.
Well, he's just the president, though. What does the president have to do during a crisis? There's nothing really.
No, I will say, him
Nothing.
going there. I mean, when you see the 27-car motorcade, cruising, locking down the streets, it does.
He shouldn't be there, really.
Yeah, he should.
I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah, you're there symbolically to show
Yes,
that you
I
care and
know,
help
I
is on the
know.
way. But it's really more of a hindrance than
It
anything
sure
else,
is.
especially in Maui.
Yeah.
Where there's limited access. It's not like they got super freeways going through the island.
He comes in with this 27.
It's incredible
Yeah.
that they're calling him a traitor. And I mean, remember, this is a 2-1 state for Democrats in presidential elections. And as I reminded residents of Hawaii yesterday on Twitter, that it is an open primary in Hawaii. So everyone do their part and vote against Joe Biden, whether you're left or right. But you get the memes have been brutal. Can we do the side-by-side one where he did his kneel there for George Floyd? Criminal dies, he kneels. 115 dead, 1,000 missing, he falls asleep. Now, if you think that's brutal, how
He
about
was out too, man.
How about
He was out.
you started the show by talking about his kitchen fire. Well, here's another meme. 9/11, the towers in the background. He says, "My plane once got delayed for almost 2 hours."
That's just not funny.
Oh man,
That's hilarious.
It is.
Nice job.
It is.
And that has been the tone of social media.
Oof. Except for the fact that it will forever be too soon on 9/11.
I know.
That's something you just don't do.
But
you don't joke about
so,
that.
I mean, we didn't laugh.
But no.
We were laughing at Joe, I believe.
Yes, that's true.
And that's what he would do.
That's true.
If he were talking about
Yeah, he
9/11,
would.
he would talk
He
about
would.
his plane being delayed.
I remember being delayed at the airport.
And
That's
we were
about
trying
it.
to bring our cat on the trip with us.
Right.
And so I had to hold my cat for 2 extra hours.
We were still sad that Bo was coming back from the burn pits sick.
Right. except he wasn't there yet. But you won't look into that because you're the mainstream press, so don't worry about that. By the way, Seth Dillon and Joel Berry from the Babylon Bee will join us at the bottom of hour 2 this morning. That should be fun. Babylon Bee has a new book out. They have a new book out. It's called The Babylon Bee Guide to Gender.
Nice.
Really funny.
I bet that's fantastic. They just do good work.
Yes, they do.
I really like the Babylon Bee. They're awesome. And they've got that actual news site, too, that is good, where you'll see news that you can't get anywhere else called Not the Bee. So check that out as well. So the big debate is tonight. Won't that be fun? Won't that, we got that going for us.
We do.
I'm very, very excited about it. I mean, at first I was excited about football season starting up.
No.
But then I heard the debate is this week, and I'm like, oh, man, that so far exceeds the football season. And especially without Donald Trump. Come on.
I know. And without Keith's boy from Miami.
Oh, Rick Suarez. Francis
Suarez. Yeah. And I would say this. I think there's a chance that Keith does not receive his money.
Francis?
I think there's a good chance.
He didn't qualify for the debate, so I think there's a good chance you're not seeing a dime, my friend.
Francis Suarez, so help me. If I don't get my $20 gift card.
Election fraud.
Fraud. I will take you to federal court. I don't know what the charge is, but I'll figure something out.
I would think there's a penalty for that.
That would be fun to do.
Yeah. Huh. And
I don't want a reimbursement either.
You do have proof, right?
Yeah.
That they took the dollar out of your account.
Yep. They took the dollar out of my account. I don't want a credit. I want my $20, bro.
Right.
Let's go.
So the debate is at 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Oh, I love those late ones.
And then Tucker Carlson sits down with Donald Trump. Same time, of course, on Twitter.
That's awesome.
X, whatever you want to call it.
I have a feeling it went well for Trump since he's promoting it.
Oh,
right.
Must have.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Tucker has in the past explained that he doesn't like him. I don't know how many people remember that or are aware of that.
Or a text to somebody, right?
But when you're sitting across from a guy, though, no matter who it is,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. But I mean, he needs to go through the process. People always say, "Well, there's a precedent. You already know," and he's said that, and that's yes. We know many of the things we need to know about you. We don't know everything because times have changed over the last 2.5 years. There's other issues, and we need your take on it. What would you do about these things? But obviously, we're not going to get it. So what are you going to do? No sense crying over spilled milk, I guess. Water under the bridge, I guess.
And then he turns himself in tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. A lot of cashless bail people out there, but Trump's going to pay $200,000 for bail. I would almost consider him not paying the bail and just make him arrest him. And lock down just lock down the jail. Secret Service just locks down the jail.
Are they going to do the mugshot or not?
They
seen
said
conflicting things.
I don't know.
That
police chief at the very beginning said there was going to be a mugshot and the whole weigh in. I mean, I think you can bet on how much he's going to weigh.
Oh wow!
In Vegas now, the over under I think is like 273 or something like that. So
he's how tall is he? 6'3" or something? 6'4"?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I know Barron is like 8 feet tall now. So I just saw a picture of him the other day. I mean, I know we're talking about Donald, but Barron is like 8 feet tall now, man. It's amazing.
There was a woman who threatened both their lives. Did you see that recently? She just got arrested because she said,
she said she was
going to shoot them both straight
in the face. Yeah.
Donald and Barron. Who threatens a candidate's children?
Yeah.
So just despicable.
And
that's gotten almost
Chicago.
Isn't a person in Illinois?
Yeah.
Tracy Marie Fiorenza, accused of sending a threat against the Trumps to the headmaster of a Palm Beach school on May 21st. I think it's the school that Barron attends. She said, "I will state that I will shoot Donald Trump Sr. and Barron Trump straight in the face at any opportunity that I get." That's really That's really bad.
I'm sure the FBI's knocked down her door.
I'm going to slam a bullet in Barron Trump's head with his father in self-defense. Wow. All in caps. So she screamed it. She screamed it. That makes it even worse.
Sure does.
More serious an offense. Anyway, so she was arrested Monday, scheduled to be transferred to Florida from Illinois, and she's going to face charges for it.
Good.
There's no
Well, she didn't get
indication
killed,
about
though.
why or why you sent it to the school or any of that. What is your deal? Very
because
strange.
they're Trumps.
Right. I guess so. I guess that's reason enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Monday night, Larry Elder made a video on his way to Milwaukee. This is interesting. Talking, no doubt, about the fact he's not going to be included in tonight's debate. And it went a little something.
Yes, en route to Milwaukee, I was just informed by the RNC that I'm not qualified for the debate. Why? Even though I exceeded the 40,000 individual donations required, even though I signed the pledge to support the eventual nominee, even though I submitted 3 polls where I was at least at 1%, I was informed that one of the polls is not eligible. It's the Rasmussen poll, even though it's the most accurate poll in predicting that Donald Trump would win in 2016. They say it is affiliated with Donald Trump and therefore it's not eligible. And I said to Ronna McDaniel, the chairwoman of the RNC, it's not affiliated with me. She said any poll affiliated with any candidate is not eligible. And no one told me that until just now. So we're filing an emergency injunction to get me up there. This is absolutely BS. One of the candidates, by the way, offered a $20 gift certificate for a $1 donation.
Right.
That apparently is okay. Another one offered a free, air quotes, country western concert for a $1 donation. That apparently is okay. Another one offered a commission to prospective donors to get other prospective donors. That apparently is okay. But I did it the old-fashioned way, asking people to support me by going to LarryElder.com, and that is not okay. And now all of a sudden, I'm not eligible. It is designed, in my opinion, to make sure that Ron DeSantis is a nominee. Anybody other than Trump. This is BS. I will see you in Milwaukee. Out.
Nice, Larry.
Or maybe it's racism, Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeping the man down.
Keeping the man down. Oh, wait, no, the man keeps the man down.
The man down.
The man, I guess. Anyway, he should absolutely be there. If Bergamentum is going to be there.
And Asa Hutchinson.
Asa Hutchinson. So is that Perry guy? Is he going to be there? Is he the one who?
No, he didn't qualify.
He didn't qualify. Oh, okay.
Nope.
It's too bad we don't get to see his winning smile.
He won't be there, and neither will Suarez won't be there.
Right.
And Hurd, Will Hurd, who we've all been counting on to swoop in and save us. How many times have we said it? Will Hurd. When will Will Hurd listen to the will of the people and swoop in and save us?
Time out.
Hurd. Will
they're keeping him down too.
Will Hurd save us?
No. Will of the people, I think, is a great campaign slogan.
Will of the people,
you stumbled into that.
Yeah.
Will of the people.
Vote people,
vote for me.
He might make the next debate with that.
He might.
So are the qualifications for the next debate going to be different? In other words,
I don't know.
Are the different?
Oh, they were so easy. 1% in a few polls and 40,000 donors. Oh, that's not a huge threshold to overcome. And but they obviously made it ridiculous for Larry Elder.
Yeah.
So sorry, we don't like that poll. Wait, you associated with Donald Trump? What does that mean? Even what does it mean?
I don't know.
Does he own the Rasmussen poll? No, he does not. Has it been? I don't know. Good for him in the past? Yeah, probably better than most polls. That doesn't mean it's his. That doesn't mean you can link him to it. That just means he does well in their poll.
Right.
Sounds like racism.
Yeah, it does. It's bad. It's just bad. All right. So back to Hawaii. Somebody put this together. Ukraine aid versus American aid. Check this out.
It's also going to help schools and hospitals open. It's going to allow pensions and social support to be paid to the Ukrainian people so they have something in their pocket.
Since Russia invaded Ukraine just over 2 months ago, we have sent more than $3 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. Last week, I sent Congress to be excused a point of personal privilege, talking like an old senator, but sent a supplemental budget, a fancy way of saying we need more money. As I said from the beginning, this fight is not going to be cheap. I'm once more urging Congress to quickly pass this supplemental funding bill for over $300 billion to help the Ukrainians. FEMA has approved 50,000 meals, 75,000 liters of water, 500 beds, 10,000 blankets, and as well as other shelter supplies for survivors displaced from their homes. FEMA also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household for folks who've been displaced.
Oh, wow.
But they're sending blankets to Hawaii.
Wow. Yeah, because you know how cold it gets this time of year in Hawaii.
What? I mean, I just there's no words left for this guy. There's just no words left for this guy.
I know.
He sucks in every way imaginable.
But they all have blankets.
Blankets and
I mean, not all of them, but some of them will have some warmth tonight. Thank goodness.
Yeah, did we give you a water or a blanket? Because you can't have both. Okay, so
no, this is the water line. You wanted a blanket? That's that line. Yeah.
Have you noticed what's been happening to the dollar lately? It's really not good. I mean, their countries, was it India I was reading about that paid for oil recently, an oil purchase in their currency, not ours,
or whatever it is.
Yeah, rupees. That's not good. The greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in the past 80 years is happening right now. And the BRICS nations are all getting together. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are trying to launch this new international super currency. It's all part of the plan to supplant the U.S. dollar. So how do you protect your IRA or your 401k from all of this fallout? Well, you diversify with gold from Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a really good hedge and a safe haven in times of uncertainty like we have right now. So get an info kit, go through it, and see if it's right for you. It'll tell you about the gold IRAs, and then you can decide for yourself if a tax-sheltered retirement account backed by physical precious metals is right for you. Go to 989898. You just text the word PAT to 989898. There's a monumental shift going on right now, and you don't want your dollar to be devalued. It just hurts us all. Arm yourself with information to protect your retirement savings. Text PAT to the number 989898 to claim your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson sat down with Colonel Douglas, how do you say his last name? McGuire? Is it McGuire? McGregor?
I thought it was McGregor.
Yeah. McGregor, it is. Okay, Douglas
but then
McGregor.
again, I thought he was a general and he's a colonel, so.
Well, you're stupid. Wow.
That answers that.
Wow. But shared some thoughts like the money we spend in places like Ukraine.
Yeah.
Here's how that went.
Well, here's another one. The president announced yesterday on one of these tweets, somebody tweets for him, obviously, that the people that have lost everything in Hawaii, thousands of them lost everything, are going to receive a one-time payment of $700.
And a blanket.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Pause it for a second.
A long time.
Yeah. Don't change what this administration is doing for these people.
Yeah, the
colonel.
Yeah, the Colonel General is cherry picking facts here.
Again, as always with these MAGA Republicans, it's $700 per family and a blanket.
Yeah, and there's like a meal in there.
So shut up. That's what Tucker should be saying. But
he just lets the Colonel General go on.
And here he is going on.
I haven't been to Hawaii in a long time. I'm not even sure I've ever been there, but I know.
Wait, you
that
don't
$700 isn't going to take care of the
this for
family.
a second.
Wait, you don't know if you've ever been there?
I thought the same thing.
I'm pretty sure if you've been there, you'd know it.
But
he's pretty sure.
Look, when you're a Colonel General, you don't know all the places you've been.
It's not like,
okay.
Yeah, I once I was just I was passing through some states, and I just happened to go.
Oh my gosh,
through
are we in Hawaii?
I forgot all about that time.
Yeah.
We got in the car and we started to drive, and we wound up in Honolulu, and it's like, wow, okay.
Well, we're already here. We might as well stay for a while.
It's one of those states like you deliberately plan a trip to. You don't just
you save.
I had a
for it,
connecting
plan for
flight
it.
in Honolulu.
I don't know if I've ever.
Actually, I
been there.
did coming back from Desert
I mean, he may
Storm.
have- as
We stopped,
a colonel
refueled in
general,
Hawaii and
general
took off
colonel,
again.
whatever his
I
title
was in
is.
Hawaii
I mean, there
for
may have been a military
an
time
hour and a
when
half.
he was there. He couldn't.
This kind of feels like topic drift. Like
Oh,
maybe,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
we're
okay,
getting
yeah,
away
sorry,
from the
go
bigger
ahead.
point.
We are, but it's very difficult to ignore that.
No, it is.
All right, let's see.
To Hawaii in a long time. I'm not even sure I've ever been there. I know that $700 isn't going to take care of a family for very long.
That's a trip to McDonald's there.
But in the meantime, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars continue to flow into this black hole called Ukraine, which I think is an exercise in fraud, deceit, and criminality, to be blunt.
Wow.
So when's it going to stop? When are we going to take care of Hawaii? Let's go back to Ohio, where we had the derailment and the chemical spill. 4,000 human beings living in this area. The water is still not fit to drink, as I understand it. We wouldn't even invest the money to move those people to a safer area, even if it meant temporary housing or permanent housing, until this thing was cleaned up. What have we done? This is the problem. It is America last.
Oh, yeah.
On every level. The last people who are consulted, the last people who are benefiting from anything that goes on in Washington are Americans. This cannot go on. It's got to end. And I think it will end. But unfortunately, it's like everything else. We're going to have to be pushed over the cliff into the abyss. I think that's where we're headed.
Wow.
Happy talk.
Really depressing.
I mean, true, though.
Yes.
How do you argue with any of that except for the Hawaiian thing?
Well,
yeah. I mean, that's good stuff. He also talked about what we pay illegals.
The average American earns about $31,000 a year. That's it. The average American pays about $16,600 a year. Now, the people in Congress, this doesn't affect them.
It's half.
Or in the Hill or inside the Beltway. We're talking about the real Americans who live out there scratching out a living. Keep in mind that a person who works all his life and then tries to draw on Social Security can expect a monthly payment of probably $1,400 if they're lucky.
Wow.
$1,400. We hand every alleged asylum
hi,
seeker,
Goofy. Sorry.
illegal migrant pouring into the border in Texas
Got
or
me.
wherever else.
Got me on
We hand
Liberty's
them when they
channel,
get their
Frank's channel
$2,200.
for now. I'm just
And
trying
we
to
put them
be
on that
busy and get the
$2,200
knock
diet
out of here.
from there on out per month.
Oh.
Yet somebody who works all his life, retires and draws Social Security gets $1,400. The Afghans who were hanging on to the planes in Kabul trying to come to the United States, when they arrived, they received $2,200 a month. Now, if you can make sense out of this, please try, because I don't think most Americans can make sense out of this at all.
You'd be correct.
Man, $2,200 a month for an illegal that gets here.
Healthcare, cell phone.
Well, I was just going to say that's just $26,400 plus the stuff you're talking about. It probably takes them above the average American salary of 31.
Housing, healthcare, and communication. That's a big
I'm almost
chunk of
done here,
everyone's
guys.
bills every
Just
month.
send out one more email. Then I'm going to kill the stream.
We are a nation adrift.
Fortunately, there's the exact same number of them, though, today that there were 25 years ago.
Yeah, so you don't have to plan on
so
spending any more.
No, it's been stagnant for a long time.
It's a constant bill. It's the same thing.
Fortunately, we've kept that number at a very pleasant 11 million.
That's good.
For 25 years. That's great.
And fortunately, the cost of living has stayed the same too here in America.
Right. Other than going up a lot, it stayed exactly the same.
Did you see this fun? And by the way, he talked about the border there. Did you see that encounters with Chinese are up 800%?
Did see that
at the southern border.
That's not a concern. Though.
That's not
what
a concern at all.
I mean,
well, it went from 0 to 8.
No, it went from 229 to 1862.
The 0 to 8, like I said.
last fiscal year.
Wow.
But anyway, back to the prices of things. This is a fun fact. So the average new car price in America. You guys want to guess what right now the average new car price?
I know this.
I'm going to say 28,000.
Oh, you're going to say wrong.
You'd be wrong.
48,000.
Yeah.
48,000 for the average new car price under Joe Biden.
48,000?
Yeah. That's up
Is the
16.8% under Biden. Now, the average price of a new car in the U.S., we just said 48,000. There's only one model under 20,000 right now. So there's only one new car that's being sold under 20,000, but there are 32 models over 100,000.
Well,
That's insanity.
I think that one model, that Mitsubishi that they're talking about,
I think that just went over 20.
They
They
just ended that.
Yeah, I think they did.
So that's not even under 20 anymore.
Wow.
Right. And it's a little crap can. You know,
It is.
so
Sorry, Mr. Rich Guy. Okay.
for 20,000
there's-
plus, though, you can buy a brand new crap can. Congratulations.
Well, I mean,
it's made of aluminum foil.
Whatever.
It's made of aluminum
And I
foil.
will say that
Mitsubishi Mirage.
It's a little low on fat guy seating as well, but it is under 20,000.
Wow. Jeez. That's bad.
Real
it's bad.
And going back to the Colonel
Real
General's point, America last in everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've said that how long?
All right,
Really?
guys.
I mean, America
since
is last.
Biden took office.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the things they hated so much about Trump is his America First
Yeah,
policy.
I mean, that's why they
It's
hate
unacceptable to him.
the MAGA, right? I mean, that's what
Right.
MAGA is.
Right. It offends them. Just the very thought of making America great again offends them. No, we're doing our damnedest to ruin this country and cut it down to size. Make it equitable with the rest of the world. We're trying to equal this thing out. Don't make us stop dragging the country down. Who do you think you are? So that's what we're up against.
Yep.
And you prefer to call him Joe Biden, correct? Not Robert L. Peters, his pseudonym, or Robin Ware, or J.R.B. Ware. He's got all these pseudonyms now, and burner phones and fake email addresses and stuff. As he runs his little criminal.
Probably gonna add some music to it, but I'm gonna show that video
Yeah,
one more
but
time.
whatever.
Who
On the way
cares?
out.
Well, the Democrats don't.
No, they don't
care.
No, they don't.
They don't care. Some on the fringes are just beginning to. You know, there's a little bit of concern that, hey, oh, wow, no comment on Hawaii? How is that possible? That you can't at least extend sympathy and hope to them.
He's incapable.
He's
Yeah,
incapable.
this person's getting
Yeah.
paid well.
I think,
What is he doing?
there's certain centers of his brain that just don't work.
Well,
and
that's for sure.
There's no sympathy. There's no empathy. He can't speak. He can barely walk. You know, he's got some issues right now. He falls asleep during, people say, well, he's 80 years old. Yeah, that's why he shouldn't be in office. Okay. If you can't stay awake during a memorial for who knows how many people in Maui who have died, if you can't stay awake for that, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be in office.
No, you should
Time
not.
to go.
Plant manager.
No, you
Okay.
should not.
There's a lot of other things you could be
That
doing.
would be
If
why.
you're busy looking at your watch while flag draped coffins are coming in from Afghanistan, you shouldn't be president.
Again, I say time to go.
Wow. I mean, really amazing. So many conspiracies, too, because as we've said many times, when things don't add up and they don't tell us why they're not adding up or help us add them up, then people come up with their own reasons for things.
Wait a minute.
I don't think we
I
have
gotta
time
do one
for
more
this.
thing.
No, we're not going to do the video yet, but there's a couple of videos from that have emerged about this situation
In Hawaii?
Yeah,
The color blue.
I don't know if I've ever been.
We need to address the
Can't
color
remember
blue.
if
yeah, the blue homes or whatever that are still standing, and then there was one with a red roof that also is standing, and you see it from I don't know, an aerial shot, and there's total devastation around it, and then this just beautiful untouched home with a red roof. How'd that happen?
And Jeffy, you have or have not been to Hawaii?
Honestly, I can't remember if
You
I've
haven't
ever
been
been to
there?
Hawaii or not.
Okay, that's weird.
Well,
not
it's
gonna
kind of
lie,
forgettable.
I feel like
because it's it's a 4,000-mile trip, and you got to cross an ocean to get there. And once you're there, it looks a lot different than Texas.
Really?
So, yeah.
So you're saying I
So it's
probably would
easy to-
remember it.
It's easy to
Oh, okay,
misplace a
good.
trip to
Yeah, okay,
Hawaii.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was our takeaway from the Colonel General.
Yeah, that is. We could ruin anything. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And you're my girl.
Definitely not that. I don't know why you're saying
It's
Are they gonna text or
nothing
something?
like that. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Weird.
Weird.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It's time to chew the fat with Jeffy. As soon as we get there it is.
Okay. Now, last time we got hollered at for talking over this, right?
Yeah, we did. So we should probably be quiet.
We should.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just remind people to be sure to subscribe to Chewing the Fat, my daily podcast.
That's not being quiet.
Available wherever you get your podcast.
That's weird how you kept talking.
What's that?
It's weird how you kept talking over
I'm
this.
just reminding people to.
You're right. I know, but
subscribe to.
But you're still talking over the intro.
Wait, I think his microphone got
turned off. Nice job,
Wow.
Chris.
I'm just reminding people.
Chris taking matters into his own hands. But I mean, in Jeffy's defense, the song is getting longer.
Yeah. Well, it started out, I don't know, 15 seconds. Now it's about 14 minutes. So.
See, now you're talking. You're still talking.
Okay. So loud.
But I mean, you really want to appreciate the kids' talent,
You do,
right?
You do want to appreciate
That's
it.
the word.
And that's why it's become longer, because we're in appreciation of the kids' talent. Congratulations seems to be the theme of today's Chewing the Fat. First, congratulations to the Women's World Cup champions from Spain. They defeated England 1-0.
So that's over. We're done
Their
with that
first
stuff?
championship. Yes. Now the Royal Spanish Football Soccer Federation president, Luis Rubiales, is in trouble. At a post-game medal celebration, he hugged and kissed one of the stars, Jenny Hermoso, just a little too much.
Oh, no.
And right on the lips.
You're looking right.
I've heard.
Yeah, right there. He's right in the right-hand corner.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at that. He grabs
Gives
her
her
head,
a big hug.
kisses her.
Yeah.
Wait, who
Just
is that
run
again?
that again. That's Luis Rubiales. He's the president of the Soccer Federation, or the Football Federation.
Oh, boy. Oh, my.
Yeah. He was just excited.
She didn't appreciate it.
Well, no, she did not. But he did bend the knee, though, with an apology video. But even the prime minister said that wasn't sufficient. Spain's acting second deputy minister, Yolanda Diaz, said, no, she was harassed and assaulted, and she wants Rubiales to resign.
Oh, wow.
Worse yet is an allegation that a statement attributed to the player, Hermoso, which said his behavior with everyone has been excellent, and it was a natural gesture of affection and gratitude.
Oh, that's not what she said.
That was written by the Federation, not approved by her.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, because she was pissed.
So she's not really commented on it, the whole thing. So he hasn't been.
No, she said she didn't like it.
Well,
she said she didn't like it.
Yeah.
If
you believe.
Wait. Is Jeffy gonna take the side of an assaulter?
I guess so.
No, he's not been fired yet, though. But hey, congratulations on the victory.
Congratulations.
Then, also as expected, Vladko Antonovsky is now the former head coach of the U.S. women's national soccer team. It was a resignation, but he really got the boot, which was not a surprise to anyone, as they, were out of the World Cup early. And now the interim replacement, Twyla Kilgore, former assistant and first American-born woman to earn a pro coaching license for soccer. So congratulations. That wraps up our women's World Soccer up there.
For 4 years? For 4 years? We can take 4 years off now?
You can take some time off. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Also, congratulations to Rory Elric, 6 years old, won first place in the kids 5 to 8-year-old mullet championships.
Look at that.
Rory's mullet named Cheddar Whiz. Second place, because you have to have a name for your mullet.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Second place.
What happened? Oh, he's offline? Well, what time is it? We're going to call it anyway. He's offline. All right. More time on this. I'll play this on the way out. On loop. Scary. He's so scary.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it, get after it. Get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks,